Try its Butter Baby today and see what makes us so different. You can smell like this, or this. Made from all natural botanicals, herbs, extracts, and oils, try all 30 aromatics. Mix them and match them. Give them to loved ones. Your skin has never felt this good. Our aromatics are infused with 100% Ghanaian shea butter and ported bi-monthly. Packed, rich in vitamins and minerals to ensure its vitality, of course. Oh, and we let it whip and whip and whip. And we whip it right. Helps fight psoriasis and eczema, severe inflammation, acne and diaper rash, razor bumps, stretch marks and discoloration, dry, cracked feet, and more. Even the bees love it. That's because it's earthen. It's Butter Baby. All natural earthen skincare. Try its Butter Baby today and make your skin happy.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Asiatic Blakk in the building. I got my girl, Chelle B. Chelle B, what's happening with you?
What's happening, Asiatic? How are you?
Man, I finally got you in the studio.
On this
with
side.
your busy self.
You busy too?
Well, I mean, you know, I do what I do.
Yes, we have to get on each other's schedule.
We finally made it happen.
We made it happen.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Too Black, Too Strong Mega Blast. And I want to shout out my girl Jackie with her butters. It's
Yes.
Butter Baby. Make sure y'all stop by and get yourself some, man. It's good for that skin.
Ghanaian.
Dry, ashy feet and all that.
Shea butter. Come
Yes,
on,
that's
Jackie.
right. That's right. That's right. All right, welcome once again. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Introduce yourself to those few that don't know who you are.
I am Chelle B, on-air personality, content creator. Oh my gosh, red carpet host.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, entrepreneur.
Black lovely lady.
There it is. Ooh, listen. See, I want to say that, but I do appreciate the compliment.
And
I do a little bit of everything, you know. I like to just. I'm a creative junkie.
how's your vegan journey?
Well, so I'm not an actual vegan, but so I'm not vegan. So let's get that right. I eat chicken and turkey. I do eat that.
All right.
But when I was saying that I had some salsa and lime chips, I didn't get the regular lime chips. I have the one that has like the avocado oil, the vegan chip. So there is not as much sodium and carbs as the regular chip.
Well, still and all, you know, that's abnormal for us black folk. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I try my little journey here and there.
Yeah.
And clean myself up. You know, I don't do no meats, but
See, you doing better than me. Like I don't do the beef and the pork, but I'm like, I'm gonna need my chicken. I'm gonna need my chicken. We mix that turkey up too, but I need my chicken.
right.
Lemon actually. You have me some lemon pepper, lemon
Got to
juice.
have it.
Yes.
okay. All right. So once again, in your line of work. All right. So where were you born and raised?
I was actually born right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Been here my entire life. I mean, well, I've ventured out, but I've been born and raised here.
And like hell, she been venturing out. I'm talking about all over. We're going to talk about that in a minute. All right, so what neighborhood you came from?
I am from North Colony. That's what it's Northington townhouses and all that now.
North side in the building.
North Colony, yes, I am.
I buy them charges and things.
Oh yeah, 601. So I wasn't allowed to walk to school because I stayed in the houses in the back down the street. But we all in the same neighborhood, right across from Callaway.
She just tripping, man. She, they were bourgeois.
No, we weren't bourgeois. We weren't bourgeois. I got people that was like, we not letting you walk to school. I was like, I bet you if we stayed up the street, I probably still couldn't walk to school. They just wanted me to be safe.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with that.
No,
you know
it's
what I'm
not.
saying? Especially in today's temperature, man. It's so much going
Yes.
on. And
Yes, for sure.
you what school did you go to?
So I went to Callaway High School and I went to
Elementary.
Jackson State. Oh, right back on the same lawn, North Jackson.
All right.
It's sort of like the path, North Jackson.
So you north side for real.
Oh,
It's in your blood.
absolutely. And then I went over to Powell, and then I came
Okay.
on back to
All right.
Callaway.
All right.
Same adventure.
Yeah, same thing,
Yeah.
Your boy, I traveled them schools too.
The Bougers say Powell. No, baby, it's Powell. We went to Powell. Those
There
Trojans.
it is. There it is. Okay, so north side to the day we die. We in there.
Yeah.
We locked in.
Absolutely.
And then what you any music in school?
Oh, okay. So yeah, it was a whole different ball game growing up in school because I had my pageant world. Then I was in choir. Then I was a majorette in middle school, high school. Drama club, you name it. I was outside my majorette with a Tommy Stewart, Tania Stewart's sister, Miss Branson. She's married now, but Miss Branson at the time, Eye of the Tigers, that was outside of our school. I mean, I kind of been a busybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All your life.
Music been in my world. I
Right,
took vocal lessons, all of that.
I see why you work like you do. You got a good work ethic.
I appreciate that.
Grandma in your life coming up?
I do. I had both grandmothers in my life, actually. My dad's mom passed July 2013, and she was 96. My mom's mom is still here, and we were actually, she's in Belzoni. So my family's from Humphreys County. They didn't meet till they got to Jackson State. That's crazy. And Belzoni is very small, but she is still here in Belzoni, my mom's mom, and she is 97. Everybody know her, Miss Isabella Jordan.
Okay.
My dad's mom, Minnie Boyd, so they know her as well. But yeah, she's going on.
Are they from Jackson as well?
My parents?
Yeah.
No,
grandparents.
Now, that's you about to go a little further because one was born in 1928, one was born in 1917. As far as I know, they were in the Mississippi Delta. Now, it may be some, like, I don't know, let's say like your Louise may be in the mix or your, different type of Shockey counties and different things in the mix. They were in the Mississippi Delta. Since I was little, they were in Belzoni.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's a historical part there that I don't know all of the details, but yeah.
Okay.
Like my mom was born in Kruger, Mississippi.
Wow.
Right.
So you're a country gal too.
There it is.
All right. Both parents still living?
Yes, thank God they both are my babies. I call my parents my babies. They are my besties. My dad is a blessed 74 years old. He just turned that in September. And my mom is 71. She'll be 72 in February coming up.
September what?
September the 9th. He's a Virgo. Yeah, what we got?
Yeah.
See that part?
Yeah, I'm the 10th.
Oh, see what I'm
That's
talking
right.
about?
That's
but see,
right.
I'm a Libra, so I just had a birthday a couple weeks ago. You know
Well,
what
we
I mean?
all in that same
October
little
2nd.
area.
Yes, we are.
Ain't no doubt.
Yes,
and we are the best.
We are the best.
So don't get it twisted.
It's on the cusp. It's what it is. It's a group of us. We got to kind of stick together. Family affair.
Ain't no doubt. All right, and then after school, what did you do?
So are we talking about after high school, after college?
After high school.
After high school, I went to Jackson State. The I love. Everybody got to say the I love. We're setting the standard. That's what we're doing now in the 2025. But
For sure.
I went to Jackson State. I graduated in 2008. Did a lot of different things while I was there as well. I majored in the College of Business Management and Marketing. That was my got my bachelor's, my undergrad. And I was a part of Interfaith. That was a gospel choir that was on campus. We performed a little bit everywhere.
What's the name of it?
Interfaith, gospel choir, Interfaith.
Oh, yeah?
Larry Johnson, all of us performed together. Like, yeah.
Okay.
That was my people. We grew up together.
God damn, you been busy. I didn't even know nothing about all of that. Okay, well, I'm learning some stuff, and that's what I like to do.
Yes.
During college, what did you do? Did you work? Did you?
So I've had anywhere from 2 to 3 jobs since I was 15.
That's it.
Since I was 15.
Man, that's crazy.
Ever since, I get my work ethic from my parents. You know what I mean? I was always told you can't get just things for life and free, for free. I think people, have a misunderstanding or it's misconstrued because I am the only child. Oh, you're only child, you spoil, you get everything. Oh, no. I have parents. No, they didn't have to share my gift with my sister or my brother, though I would kill for a sister or brother. Biologically, I do have my Linky Poo, my line sister. I do. I'm gonna speak on that in 1 second. But they always taught me you have to work to get what you want. I mean, I had my allowance and I had my, savior this and that, but I actually had jobs. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. And a lot of us who were in school and in the band and cheerleaders and majorettes and choirs, they pretty much all channeled through Chuck E. Cheese because Dale Trinell, I miss Dale. He passed. He actually passed in September a few years ago.
Who's that?
Dale Trinell, that was our boss there at Chuck E. Cheese, and so he was understanding. He didn't put us on the schedule if we didn't have a game that
55,
week.
the one on 55,
the original Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
There's a whole different dynamic than a new Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah,
I'm not
beside
hating on
Kmart. Right beside Kmart. Okay.
But it was a different dynamic. So I worked there, and I also worked in special projects, and that was in juvenile rape division. I worked for the police department, so I did that. I was pretty much doing those things throughout. I even worked at the park for a while. The park that was on Lakeland that had the ice skating rink and the go-karts and the laser tag and all of that. Because I'm a fun person. So
that's your journey.
I'm a fun person. I didn't want to be. I'm all about customer service. That hasn't changed. I still have customers from back then that are like see me now, they're like my best people. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you know, people are people. Everybody may have a job in different genres and different entities, but we're still people. Common courtesy. So I want to do the fun jobs. Now, the police department wasn't fun. It wasn't bad. It wasn't fun, but it was a learning experience because I got a chance to see a lot of stuff.
Tell me about it. What in the hell make you join the police department?
Well, see, what had happened was, you know, when you start with that. But no, in reality, at the time, Sergeant Holly Haywood, they call her Sarge, Carla Haywood, female sergeant of the police department. You know, that was amazing. You have your different detectives and all that, and she was a sergeant. And she was a friend of the family. So they had this summer program back then, not necessarily the police department, but the city of Jackson, where they put students in summer, you know, not necessarily summer camps, but summer jobs. You had to go through, I think the if I'm not mistaken, the base was at the medical mall at the time. Their shop was at the medical mall. And so you would go through that, and they place you in different places. Well, coincidentally, my mom them knew Miss Holly and them. And so since that was the case, and they were open in that program too, then she was able to come and pull and say that, yeah, we want her. But let me tell you something about Miss Holly. Miss Holly is my heart. But let me tell you the story. If you ever speak to Miss Holly Haywood, we might have to try to throw a picture of some of it. She might get me for that. But if you ever see Holly Haywood, when I tell you, she's gonna tell you this same story. She calls me popcorn. All right.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why she calls me popcorn. And I don't even eat popcorn like that. My mom, she can't live without popcorn, right? So follow me there. Mom loves popcorn. She says she called the house one night because we weren't really much on cell phones way back then, right? She called the house one night, and I said she asked to speak to my mom, and I was like, well, she can't come to the phone because she eating popcorn. I have never told her that, but she tells everybody. I don't remember telling her that. You know what I'm saying?
How old is she?
She might be in her 40s or 50s.
Now?
Yeah, might be in her 50s now.
She had to be raised around older people as well.
Yeah, I think she's from like Coffeyville, Mississippi or somewhere like that.
Oh,
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
now.
she's like,
I get it now.
I was like, I've never told you that. Now,
Country
it's
girl.
true. My mama does eat popcorn, but I didn't say she couldn't come to the phone because of this. So anytime I wanted to do anything in high school, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't this spoiled person that can do everything. My parents were pretty strict on me. You know, I was in some of everything. They supported me. That didn't change, but they wanted to make sure that I knew that life is life. People are crazy. You have to be cognizant of things. You have to work for things. So anytime I wanted to go to something, everybody went to this club called Jazzy's. And do you know I'd never been to Jazzy's? My first club was Soup the Ultimate when I was a freshman in college. I wasn't allowed to go to. Anytime I wanted to go somewhere, she was like, "Hold on, let me go over here and call Holly Haywood." I'm like, "God, dog, you got to call the sergeant of the police department for everywhere I want to go."
Never went to Jazzy's.
I would never. I wouldn't allow. She would call the sergeant of the police department every time and say, "Oh no, Chelle ain't going over there."
Why? Do you know to this day? Why?
Well, you know, my mom didn't trust not necessarily the area, trust the people. Me going to a club, even though it was a teenage club or whatever the case may be, she would call to find out if it's okay. So she considered letting me have the question. But I already knew when she made that phone call, the answer was going to be no.
Did she know Mr. Mitchell?
Yes, because I was a chargette.
That's what it was.
I know, but see, no. Well, let me just say this. But I didn't ask to go to Soups. Now I asked to go to Jazzy's. However, not saying I would never go to Soups because you know Mr. Mitchell, blessed, you know, rest his soul or whatever. He when we out there on that band field, if you call him Soups, he will go off. Like, no, right now I am Mr. Mitchell. He hated you to call him Soups. But everybody called him Soups. You know that's what it is. So. What the situation was is that when I got to college, and she laughs about it to this day. She was like, yeah, but when she got to college and she got a chance to go, me and my cousin, we went to, don't y'all judge me now. We went to Soups the Ultimate. I think it might have been for Jackson State's homecoming. And they got the shooting, right? They got the shooting. And
who was there? Do you know?
I don't even remember. And I used to go to Soups all the time because
What year was that?
So that would be 2004. Then it's fall of 2004.
Juvie.
Oh, that's who was there. I was like, we went to.
If I'm not mistaken, it was Juvenile, and that was the night that Batman them got into it.
With Batman. Who Batman? Immature Batman.
Batman. Albert Donaldson.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, you know,
we was just talking about that last week.
See that?
Last week. We were just talking about that.
Full circle.
The same incident.
Yeah, but let me tell you how you know that I hadn't been out there to the Jazzy's and the other places of the like. Because let me tell you about me and my cousin now. My cousin is from Belzoni, and she went to Jackson State. So we were down here together in college. I was already living here, but we were together. So we went out together that night. They went to shooting, and let me tell you what we did. I'm okay to tell the story. Just don't judge me.
Now.
They went to shoot, and me and her held each other standing up in the chair. We were like, oh my God, girl, they shooting. They were like, get out the chair, get down. People on the floor, we was up there holding each other like, oh my God, girl, they shooting. What we gonna do? They was like, shoot, about to get shot.
Y'all standing in the chair for?
Baby, I wasn't about that life. See, if I had look, I'm not saying that I needed to go to different clubs about shooting because we don't want nobody to get shot no matter days, time, back time, whatever. But I'm saying, my mind, it wasn't like, oh my God, get down on the floor. Like, it was just like, oh my God, girl, hold me too, girl, they shooting. It was like, girl, if y'all don't get out there. I kid you not. Felicia, don't get me, baby. I just told our story, but
man, that's wild.
But they got the shooting, but it wasn't even. That's not the reason why the situation happened. As far as my mom was like, I didn't have to worry about it. She always wanted to go to like Jazzy's and it was some other places. What was the other? What was it? Was it Upper Level? It was so many different. Yeah, now I think it was out Northside Drive.
Yep.
So there was a few different ones or whatever. And so I couldn't go to them. But at the end of the day, when I went to Super the Ultimate, I got home, even if the shooting wasn't a thing, my mom was asking me so the next morning, so how was it? I was like, girl, I can't come.
She hadn't heard yet.
No, she hadn't heard. Well, not how was that part. She knew about that because she pretty much kind of stayed up till I got home. But, when I got home, she laid down. So how was your experience at the club, not the shooting part? We don't want that. Like the vibe. Like, how did you like? You've been trying to go to the club forever. And I was like, girl, they were smoking up and I can't stand smoke. I am not finna have smoke in my hair every weekend. So she was like, I ain't had to worry about that because she was like, I am not coming home washing my hair. So in the industry that I'm in now, obviously I'm around different. I don't judge at all. My thing is I don't judge. I just don't indulge. So if I don't have to be around it, I'm not. But if I am around it, I don't judge. I mean, do your thing.
Right.
But to just casually go in the club and just hang out and they smoking, or if I'm somewhere and they're doing something and like that, I don't judge them. I just kind of remove myself because it's not my thing. So
Understood.
I had to find it on my own. But I would hope that in the teenage clubs we weren't smoking. I was like, Mommy, this is when I'm in college.
Jacktown.
It might have been a little different if I had gone when I was in high school. I hope.
Jacktown. That's the way it is. That's the way it was. I'm talking about for real. So did you ever go back?
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm an old soul, believe it or not. So I love Phil Perry. He performed. I was a Jesse Powell fanatic. There are no words. Like my Jamie Foxx now was my Jesse Powell then. And I got a chance to I went to his concert when it was at the IMR Hall, and I still have the sweatshirt somewhere in some box now. Where I went on my birthday and he signed, he drew a little birthday cake on my back and put his, signed his name. But then they brought him to Soups. And I forget who was it that I knew. I don't know if it was Dog. It was somebody I knew. And they knew that, you know what? I think it was my uncle knew somebody that was there. And so he talked to my uncle, who's actually really my cousin. He's like the oldest child, firstborn. So he grew up with my mom and dad. So he's really my cousin. I got
to look through them videos. I got that night recorded.
With Jesse Powell.
I was the one that brought him to the club.
I can see.
Yep.
And I actually can show you the picture where I was backstage. Because when I walked in and I saw him, y'all don't judge me. Tears went in my eyes. I was like, oh my God. See, I was having my fan moment.
Yeah.
And he was so sweet. Like,
he's a cool dude.
He really is. I mean, he died, man. That just did something to my soul. Can you imagine how many people wrote on my social media pages when he passed? You never know who's paying attention to you. And you remember that from I'm always a Jesse Powell fan, but you hear me talking about Jamie Foxx more now than you did Jesse Powell. But I'm a fan. I got his albums and stuff. I'm not talking about streaming. I'm talking about the actual CDs. We talking about some actual, tangible things.
Right.
And so, but people remember. They was like, oh my God, Jesse. I was getting early morning text screenshots of Jesse Powell passed. I was like, oh my God, like is this for real? And me, I'm running our pages for the station, so I'm looking at it on the credible sites. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to get past self for a second, so I can okay, let me actually put this out there on our pages. And even Lady V, I was at work and Lady V called me and she said, Chelle, I need some information on Jesse Powell. What's the dealio? I was like, he was this age, he just had a birthday, he just died, he went through it, yada yada yada. And she was like, thank you. All right, so let's talk about Jesse Powell. She got on the air or whatever because she certain people know certain things. Like if I need something, you know who to call. Like let me call Lady B for that, or let me call Stan for that. Right. So it was just so many people. So that was I ain't gonna say a little heartbreak. It is very heartbreaking. I actually got a chance to meet his manager. We'll talk about that too. His manager in the last 2 years recently. Yeah, actually. But yeah, I went to Soups that night, and like I said, I'm also a. I can show you that picture too. But I'm also a Phil Perry. So. When Phil came and he was singing "If Only You Knew," you know what I mean? Yeah, I love his version of it. I actually love his and Kiki Wise. No disrespect to Patty because she's an icon. But his version is just so subtle to me. So I mean, every time I went back for like a concert. I never really went back for like a club experience.
That's what's up. That's
was
what's
grown
up.
folks night when I
You've
went
been
back.
around it most of your life then. You've been around the stardom most of your life. Or what people consider the stardom, you know what I'm saying? Actually, us people get a little bit, we'll talk about that too. Anyway,
Yeah.
so during them days, meeting all those people, were you gearing up for this? When did you figure out that
This
you was
was
gonna,
kinda-
yeah. How did that happen?
You know, I've been asked that so many times, and it's kind of hard to put it all in a nutshell, especially in a show. But let me see if I can give it to you full circle. All right. When you're going through those things, I'm a music person. Music is just my heart. I love music. I love timeless music. I love classics. I love those things. And I grew up with older parents. You know what I mean? So, and when I do certain things, you not knowing what God has, in store later on, right? So I'm gonna skip to one part to show you something about radio. So I danced, before you get into school where you have, actual, you really have middle school is really when the drill team starts. Now they got it differently, but so like I said, did Out of Tigers, then I was a Trojan, and then I was a Charger. Well, when it got to my senior year, and I'm like, see what happens when you make good grades. You're supposed to be rewarded, right? I say that for a reason. So I get to my senior year. I mean, if you have done, everything you need, you get out early. That's what it was back then. I'm not sure what they do now.
Right.
You get out early. Well, you remember I told you my mom wouldn't let me walk to school, and here we are, a senior in high school. Now I'm about to go to college in a few months, right?
Right.
And she was like, they were like, all right now, so we're getting ready to go into the senior year. You got two options. Either we buy you a car, you know what I'm saying? We buy you a car, or you dance. That's because life is life, and you can't afford everything, right? And stuff is way higher now. We buy you a car or you dance. They was like, which one is it going to be? Because you get out of school early. Dad and I are at work. We can't come get you, and you're not walking home. And I was like, I want to dance. I could care less than whatever about a car.
You chose dancing over a car.
I chose dancing. So let me tell you what Mama did. I think Mama was trying to see if I was going to give her what she would think, the mature response. Well, you shouldn't ask somebody who's a performer who loves to do different. I don't care about a car. I want to dance. So she was like, well, we're going to get you the car. I was like, well, then what you asked me for then, So I got the car. So I'm coming full circle. I think everybody had a Cavalier back then. So I had a little Cavalier. That was like the starter car for everybody.
You sure right.
And so when people see my tag now, they think I'm talking about my own eyes and stuff. It actually has the shape of an old school Cavalier. The shape of the lights are like eyes. There's a story that has nothing to do with me. But I came up with the tag. Me and one of the police officers, former detectives, when I was at work, came up with my tag name, and I wanted to keep it. I just put it on my new cars. That's it, on the new car. I ain't got the cars. But anyway, so follow me now. And she gets me the car, whether my parents, they get me the car. She was the one asking the question or whatever. Dad, just chill. He's so meek and mild. And I'm like, what in the world? And so Mr. Evans, Christopher Evans, if y'all need to get a Christopher Evans in your life. He was assistant band director to Joe Mitchell. Before we got Curtis Lucky, who was amazing. But he was also the algebra teacher there. So I knew him since 9th grade because I took him in 9th grade algebra. And him and his family and my family are family now. Like we've been very close.
Right.
And I was upset because I couldn't try out for Chargers, and I've been dancing my whole life. The goal was to be a J set. And when I was little, J sets were like the Patti LaBelle's for me. They were the TLCs for me. They were my celebrities. And honestly, to be honest with you, they're still my celebrities. I love my J sets. I love them. I love my cheerleaders too. But my J sets, that's what I wanted to do. So I'm like, man, I'm not going to be dancing. I was upset. Well, Mr. Evans, leave it to him. He was like, well, how about we'll just make you a band manager for the year so you can still travel with the band. You still do some things. Keep yourself going. And then when it was time for the actual games, he would say to me, how about we would write scripts on the I've never written scripts before like that now, okay? Now, I mean, you do stuff when you're in English class and all of that, but not for like blurbs or announcing or anything like that. Radio was still not in my radar, all right? So he was like, how about you just do announcing? So I would announce the band, like do the Richard Myers for Callaway High School my senior year. All football season, I became the high school announcer at the games. I mean, everybody has where you in the office, you can do the morning announcements and all that.
Yep.
But at the actual game, I'm like, oh my God, I'm up here in the booth and yada yada. That was like big deal when you little, you know what I mean? And I still didn't think anything of it. So when I said, let me start there, because if I fast forward to now, that wasn't in my radar, right? And when people start asking me, well, how did you get here? Or how da. And I said, you know something? Let me tell you how something came full circle. Because I was announcing stuff back then when I wasn't even looking at that.
That's
only
crazy.
to keep me with the band, because that's where I know I felt empty not being around, with the choir, and we perform and we traveled. I'm with the band, we perform and we traveled. So I felt empty. He was like, no, we can still stick with the band. So I still got reward. I had good grades. I just couldn't dance. I had the car, but I still was able to be with that. But that might have been something that was catapulting me to something else. I just didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
You were chosen.
I just didn't even know that. And so like, let's see, what's this, like 2017 maybe? They had a big homecoming, Callaway did, and brought all the chargettes and the band. And I mean, everybody brings something back, but this year was a big year. And I think every year since then, in not Jackson State, but Callaway or any other high schools has pretty much tried to emulate that year, because that year everybody came back. Drew, everybody, band members, everybody came back. So it was huge. And it was, I don't know, maybe about 20 of us chargettes. We were thick. It might have been more than that. And so, because I had a near fatal car accident my freshman year in college, we'll talk about that.
What happened?
I had a near fatal car accident my freshman year in college, right?
Really?
That's how I got the baby that's out there now. She's 20 years old. Yeah. So because of that, certain dances I couldn't do anymore, right? Mm-hmm. So, I had to learn the phrase "bruised but not broken," because that's what messed me up for JSET. I had that a month before JSET trials, and I grew up my whole life wanting to be a JSET. So that I never got a chance to be a JSET. But let me just say this. When we came back that year, 2017 or something, a big year, I could not perform on the field because they were going to be doing flips. I did perform in the stand. We going to get it in the stand. We're going to commit to it. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. So while they were performing on the field, guess who now was the comeback person to announce in the booth?
Boom.
So I got a chance to actually announce, and by now I'm in radio at that time, because I've been in radio now almost 15 years. So I was in radio in 2017. So now I'm getting a chance to do something I'm actually doing in life, because I did it back then. And since I can't perform, which I would have performed if I never had the accident, since I could not perform on the field, now I'm doing the announcing thing that I did back then, but I also do now. And then I still get a chance to dance, which I love to do in the stands. It came full circle.
How did you end up actually a radio personality?
So if I can be completely honest with you, at the time, and I tell these to students all the time, I tell these to students all the time, they have so much at their fingertips now. They didn't have all the different mass comms to the certain degree at Jackson State like they do now. And now it's like journalism and media studies and all that. Everything gets better. That's what you're supposed to do. You enhance.
Right.
And so I wanted to do that. I always wanted to do entertainment. So let's put it like that. So I did my undergrad in marketing and management. Management marketing. So mine was mostly management. And in College of Business. But every time internships would come, whether they were they bring the different jobs and entities and agencies on campus for you to do job interviews. They will always be sales jobs. And people because I was number one sales and stuff. I was always number one sales, even at Chuck E. Cheese. It was like, Chelle, you can sell, some ice boost to Eskimo, And I'm like, but I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I'm a people's person. You know what I mean? That's just who I am. I'm not the typical. I'm an extroverted person. I have introverted moments. Everybody do. Sometimes you need your peace. Mm-hmm. But I'm a people's person.
Right.
So, but I don't want to be doing cold calls. But some people love to do that. I wanted to do the business side that was entertainment. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
And so until I got ready to get my master's, I didn't get not one opportunity. I was be the Deloittes and the KPMGs and all these accounting firms. I was like, I'm good. I didn't even like accounting. I had to pray through that class. I promise you. Just tell me how much money left. I'm the creator. Let me decorate it. Hence. Let me decorate it. That was always my thing.
There it is.
That's something Asiatic didn't even know. But you see how something that came full circle again? We got to get to that.
I like that.
But so I didn't even want to do any of that. But so I was like, I got to do something different. And let me interject this little piece. My parents have been married 44 years. They made 44 years 5 days before my dad's 74th birthday, September 5th. All right. And at that time they had never been on a honeymoon or anything like that. Life was just different back then. You know what I mean? Never been on a honeymoon or all on it. So I saved up for over a year and some change or something when I was fresh out of Jackson State to get them on. I had asked some family members. I said, y'all, would y'all throw them like a party, like a reception kind of thing? Or would y'all do like a anniversary party where y'all do like a trip? Most of my family was like, yeah, let's do a trip. I was trying to get them on this tropical thing. And then my aunt was like, no, you only want to send them there because they got trafficking going on. I was like, oh man, I kept going through looking for places, right? Then I realized, wait a minute, tropical is me. I'm that tropical. My mama love mountains.
Right.
You feel me? And my daddy gonna ride along. My mom. So I was like, let me look into places. So I looked into Colorado. And it was Pike Peak, if I can get it right. So I had been talking to a lady there. It's typical things that you don't normally do. She knew I was trying to surprise my parents, right? So I was just putting a little bit. I was working for Purse at the time. I was putting a little bit of money away because I wasn't making much, and I was going to give this to them at Christmas. Their gift, but they weren't going to go to the next summer. So that means now I got a year and a half to get them ready for this trip, right? And so at Christmas they opened up the gift. So I say all that to say this: when July came and they went on the trip, they went to Colorado. I was like, I get antsy like this, just sitting around. You know what I mean? Unless it's a moment when all I want to do is just sit down and watch TV right now.
Right.
So I'm like, I just cannot sit here. I was like, what I did was got my resumes. I got tired of this online stuff, whatever you knew of it at then, because it wasn't as big as it is now. And I started I went to every TV station. I went to every radio station. I was like, oh, they're not available. I said, okay, that's fine. I'll wait. And my parents went at home. I was like, well, I got nowhere to go. I wait.
You looking for it?
I waited till I could talk to somebody. So when I see movies now, I see people doing that. I was like, yeah, man, I feel you. Whoever wrote that,
you remember
that's
that.
me. I went and sat and shook some hands because I don't want to be, I can sell, but I don't want to sell. You know what I mean? And I knew what I wanted to do, and at that time, I didn't know that I wanted to specifically do radio, but I knew I wanted to do entertainment. I knew I wanted to be a part of that realm. So whether that was in news, whether there was I was a creative person, but I didn't know how to do graphic design. But back then, I knew how to bootleg the hell out of something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Microsoft Word, baby, I would do you up some flyers and stuff. You would never know. Well, nowadays with Adobe Suite, and especially I do have some. I'm not a professional, but I do my thing. With my content creation, you can definitely tell the difference now.
She got them skills.
You can definitely tell the difference now. But back then, you couldn't tell the difference.
And I know that personally because I see some of her work and she do.
But I feel like you can always enhance. So I want to grow. I want to do better, right? So I never did any of those type of things, but I was like, I want to learn. I want to be a part of it. And how can I? Oh, well, you don't have experience. Well, how can I get the experience if you don't give me an opportunity? Right. I was like, I call myself like the professional intern. Okay, you don't make any money, great. The money will come. I want these opportunities. Mm-hmm. So I went everywhere, and my parents and I, and even to this day, we always watch WLBT. And that's nothing against any of the other news stations. We watch them at times, but the path would be WLBT, to Today's Show, or whatever, So I went to all of the different stations, not Today's Show, obviously, but the station for Jackson. JTV, APT, all of the other type things. And I had my little suit, my little portfolio, because, Miss Soignier, shout out to Lori Soignier, Jackson State University. She's retired now, but when I tell you, that's the reason I can rock the hell out of a resume. Mm. And I knew what to do and what not to wear with the hair and yada, yada, yada. So I went and did that. And when I got to 97.7, and I talked to this person named Tamara Cherie. At that time, I remember her face because I remember used to seeing her at night. She used to be in the different clubs, bringing people the vibes or whatever. And you would see it because it'd be on TV. I wasn't at the club, but I saw it. She would bring the different highlights. And I love the little correspondent thing. You know what I'm saying? I actually like doing that. I mean, I can see myself in the mirror doing stuff like that, but never thought, I'll be a correspondent one day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay. So I talked to her, and she just was like, she just looked at my resume. I was like, okay. I was just wondering, what it was going to be like. So make a long story short, actually, Tamara Cherie is the first person who gave me a chance. She was the first person who gave me a chance.
Tamara. Shout out.
The soror. She was the first person. And at the time, I didn't know. I've been seeing the stuff that she was doing, but I didn't know how long she had been in the business until, honestly, to be honest, I've known Tamara for so long now, but when she recently celebrated her Sweet 16 that she did, I'm like, dang, so when I started with her, she was only 2 years in because I'm 14. At the time, we now 16 and a half or 14 and a half. But at the time, I was like, dang, she was 2 years in, but I had remember seeing her. But I didn't come to that because I just knew Tamara Cherie. I was trying to get opportunities. And she was the first person that gave me an opportunity. And at the same time, then I got a phone call from the news station. At the time, it was Fox 40. WDBD was not merged with WLBT at the time.
Right.
And I wanted to get on at either one, but I love WLBT. Now they're together and it's crazy. But I got on and I was like, so what do I do? Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. And I was in grad school. I forgot to tell you that. I was in grad school.
At that time?
At that time, I had left PERS and I went to grad school full time and I was doing entertainment business. And because of that, that's the part I left out, because I was getting something in entertainment, that's why now I could somewhat pass my resume to some people, because now I got entertainment sitting there. And then one thing about Full Sail University, it's out of Winter Park, Florida. It's like Jackson and Ridgeland, Orlando, Winter Park. And they have something right now. If I want to go get have an internship right now, and I didn't get paid for it or credit for it or whatever, they be like, well, you just here. And I'm always about getting experience anyway. I want money too. I want the bag. Y'all say get the bag or whatever. But you need to learn to be more versed in things, be well-rounded. But they have this program where right now I can always have, it's a post-internship program, postgraduate internship. Now, yes. If I want to go do it right now, I will always get credit.
I see it all the time online.
I will always get credit.
Yeah. And you went to Full Sail.
I did, yes. Entertainment. And I graduated. What's so crazy is, and I still haven't figured this out. I graduated salutatorian, but me and the valedictorian both had 4.0s. How do you figure that out? Why weren't we co-vals?
You know what? I'm totally lost when it comes to that.
I'm confused. We weren't on a 4.5 scale. We were on a 4.0.
Right.
I was all straight A's throughout my entire. That lets you know I was doing something I wanted to do. This was entertainment. One of them classes was the finance class. I hated that class, but when I tell you I was proud of that A, I was proud of it. But that's crazy because my mom has been a director of finance and administration for 20-some years. She a beast at numbers, And
you just didn't like it,
and I don't like it. But she don't like talking in front of people, and I love it. You feel me? Neither one of my parents are in front of the camera people. Where did I even get this from?
You were born for it.
That's crazy.
Everything that you're telling me right now, it shows it. You were born for it.
I didn't grow up in it. I grew up doing it, but I didn't grow up in a family. It was like, oh yeah, my dad was B.B. King, or my mom was, Shirley Jones. My mama is Shirley, but she's Shirley Boyd.
I was going to ask you that question, but you were just born for it.
That's what's so interesting to me.
Everything you're saying right now, it's showing it.
Yeah.
So how was the experience in doing all of that?
Well, I loved it because, and this is what I was going to tell you. I ended up doing WDBD. So I think I could have it backwards. Let's just say Tuesday and Thursday I did news. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I did 97, or vice versa. So, and then I would be in school in the evening. You know what I'm saying? I would be in school in the evening. But at the time, online was like this thing, because I had this big. I was not an online person. I'm that person that got to be in the classroom, in the front row. It ain't got nothing to do with being seen. I want to ask questions. I want to understand what's going on, because I want to be able to, to succeed in what we're doing. So I wasn't really feeling the online thing. I really was trying to get in University of Miami. It was an MBEI program, Music, Business, Entertainment Industry. I was trying to get into that, and you had to get a 1,600 or something. Let's just say you had to get a 1,600 on GRE. I would be bringing in like 1,550 or like 1,490 or 1,570, which I'm understanding were stellar scores, but I could never hit that 1,600, and and probably because of the math. That's probably what the problem was. I could never hit that 1,600. I never hit the 1,600. But there was something that kept popping up everywhere. If you want to know about marketing, daggone Full Sail University, we used to pop up on my email. It popped up on Facebook, on the side, everywhere. I'm like, what the freak is Full Sail?
You sure right.
Everywhere.
I'm talking about everywhere.
So I started looking into it because I saw one day it was the #1 entertainment school in the country. And I was trying to get into like the Berkeleys and the University of Miami. It's not saying that they're not amazing, but something was at my fingertips and I didn't know it. So maybe there was a reason why I wasn't getting that 1,600, because I got that 1,600. I was going to Miami. I had everything I needed. The only thing I needed was a 1,600. I was going to University of Miami. But I looked into Full Sail and I was like, man, this is pretty dope. You know what I mean? I was like, but I'm not an online person. I feel like I'm not going to do what I need to do as an online person, because I need to be in the classroom. Where at the time, the way they stood out is because you weren't just online. You were actually in the classroom. Now virtual is a thing. So people who have grown up in this virtual space, this might be like, shit, what are you talking about? We're in class all the time. No, back then, just like cell phones weren't a thing back then, social media didn't exist back then, being online was a different ball game. You got to be very, very disciplined.
Yep.
Very disciplined. But in these cases, you actually log in, and I'm sitting like the Zooms are now. That wasn't a thing back then. You actually logged in, and I'm sitting in the classroom with everybody else.
So how did you feel about that at first?
Like
the online, just the on.
I was very, I'm gonna say completely leery about it, but I had to really do some research because I'm like, I really want to do some things, and I don't want it to be, oh, she don't have a real degree because it's online. And I'm not saying that's not the case. All these things are things to consider when you get ready to move into the next floor.
That was the thing. That was everybody's thought. Yep. This is online.
This ain't real.
They sort of looked at it like it was bootleg or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But with Full Sail, it was different because you could do on campus or online as well, like you could at other colleges. But it was set up different. It wasn't set up like the other colleges weren't set up then like they are now. Right. Full Sail stood out like that. Okay. And it could have been one or two other colleges over the country that I don't know of, so I don't want to misspeak on that. But as a general sense, schools weren't set up like that. So I'm logging in. They have the best advisors. Even to this day, my advisor told me one of the advisors told me happy birthday. I was like, hey girl, you still remember me? How you doing? They have amazing. You can call in there. Let's say you got to call a 1-800 number to get in there. You gonna talk to who you need to talk to, and if you miss them, they're gonna call you back. You're not gonna get a runaround.
Oh, so they're set up properly.
They are set up very proper. So all of that, plus when I looked at what the criterion was, which I still met the same criterion with University of Miami. When I met the criterion, you don't need a GRE score. If you did then, I'm not sure now, but you did then.
Let me ask you this: do you think that people that didn't come through, let's say Full Sail, that have been in there? Because I thought about it one time. Do you think somebody need that in there?
I think it's to each his own, but I don't see where you would not consider it and just see if it's for
polish
you.
It up a little bit.
Yeah, because honestly, we're not gonna say if, because you change the trajectory of how you talk. When I make that bag, you know what I'm saying? I think it's space for everybody to win. When I make that bag, I would love to take some classes. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some things I want to be better in. I'm not doing it to get a degree or to get a specialist or that. I just want to learn so that I can do it. So
let me ask you about this. You see the way you see how things are now in entertainment.
Yes.
You see some people they just, I don't know, they just ghetto. They just hood.
Okay.
And they get and this leading up to a question that I want to ask you too. They get all the way up here in the industry.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
How do you feel about that? What's your thoughts on that? Like I know you ain't we gotta do all of these disclaimers. I know you ain't no hater. But how do you feel about somebody getting in the industry and then after a while it becomes the norm?
Well, I look at it. Let me look at it twofold. All right, because I got to be honest with this, because you hear me on the air, and I'm always, and even not even on the air, but you hear me always say, whatever your journey is, it is yours. Do your thing, knock the roof off that sucker, and we're gonna support you. You feel me? I don't have to know you. Let's win this thing. Right. So on that side of it, it must have been meant for. That's what God meant for them to do. Absolutely. On this side, the frustrating part of it is because I'm like, God, dog, I didn't went to school, and I'm not saying that everything is in school, because the stuff changes. I went to school. Absolutely. You try to perfect your craft, and you have some people that are like, I don't really care about any of that, but because they are let's say a comedian, and this is not only comedians. Trust me, nothing I'm saying is judgmental. Because they're a comedian, okay, we're gonna put the comedian in his role, and then you see people like, man, they have no experience, but because they are comedian, they're following their followers, or the this, that, and the third. You can have the top dog talent. I'm not just talking about me, just in general. You can have the top dog talent, and will not get the job because this person over here has. I'm even starting on low end because they got 10,000 followers, because they have 15,000 followers. And you might only have 6,000. You might have 8,000. And
that goes into the question that I want to ask you, a point that I was trying to make. Why are you shadow banned?
What do you mean? Like
online? You don't feel like you're shadow banned?
Give me your meaning of shadow ban.
The caliber of person you are and what you do. Yes. You should be way up there in the thousands, the hundreds of thousands. I follow you. I watch you. I even learn from you. Real talk.
But you are somebody, I'm like, man, Blakk in that thing. You have been traveling with people and things that I aspire to do. So I'm like what you do as well.
Hey, I'm just saying. But see, I've been in it for a amount of years.
Yeah.
And that's why I was asking you the personal questions, and this is why I really wanted to sit down and talk to you. I'm like, damn, how the hell? And then that goes along with the question that I was asking about people that just get out there and do stuff.
Yeah. And randomly.
And not even meaning it. And they get
millions.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, sometimes I be like, you know what? Let me just go out there and just, flip an eyelid or something and
do something
go
crazy.
viral. Like,
man, that just amazes me, and I just wanted your personal opinion on how you feel about that. That's crazy to me, and I'm sitting back here. I'm wanting it for you because in Jackson, it's not easy. It's not right. And then another thing, in coming out of Jackson.
It's hard to get into other markets when you come out of Jackson
it's
too.
Hard.
And not because Jackson is bad, because I'm here, I'm from here, but this is what I've run into.
It didn't. Well, at a time span, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say between 98, 99 to
99 early 2000s.
2010 maybe. That was an area where they were outside markets
like the
were
banners
flooded.
and all that.
Well, on both ends.
Yeah.
Coming in the market. Like people coming in the market, they had to check in. They would love to come here because they had so much support.
Yeah, I have seen that.
All right. And then
that was at the time when I'm in school and building up. I wasn't out there doing that then.
The people that was here, they could go anywhere and get that love. And all they had to do was call back and check in and see who they were here.
Yeah.
And it was open arms.
Yeah.
But the ones that did not do it were afraid to go. So it's like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a catch-22, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm about accepting some type of responsibility because there's a little bit of fear there. And when I say a little bit of fear there, I'm not talking about going anywhere. I'm not talking about that. Because I moved to DC and I was working and interning and all that for DC and for BET at the then headquarters. So I just need the opportunity. I don't judge. I just can't go somewhere and sleep in my car and say it's going to happen.
Right.
I can't do it. That doesn't mean that it didn't work for somebody else. It's just not for Chelle. You feel me? So there's a little bit of fear there because you can't really worry about what people say. But when you grow up being a person like me who is very lovable and wants everybody to win and don't understand why, oh my gosh, she's not like me or he's not like me, because that's what I knew. That was kind of the shelter part that my parents had on me, making sure that I, was courteous to people and that I, was nice and worked hard and work ethic, yada, yada, yada. So I really wasn't exposed to the, I'm not going to say hood or whatever, because everybody has their own, different type of personalities. I would go to school, but I was always in something. You know what I mean? So I'm like this. I'm moving. Newspaper club. Yearbook club, everything you can think of.
Right.
So I really wasn't, I guess, idle enough to experience what life is showing me now. So I'm learning at a later age what people have been living their whole lives because they've been able to do certain things that I wasn't allowed to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I, for a while I was a little sour about it because I'm just like, why? Like, I still, to be honest with you, I still ask those questions now to my mom. I be like, Mom, why would she do that? Or why would he do that? Not necessarily just to me, but to other people because
it's strange.
I don't have the heart to do people like that. And then if somebody says something about me or lies about me or or my character is questioned, some people be like, man, forget y'all, I'm good. People have to say to me that my new hashtag, in addition to It Shall Be Done, need to be FTP. Now, you put together what that means. Those people. And that's what people tell me I need to say. I got to get there. You know what I'm saying? And you have your moments where I'm very frustrated where you might want to have your mama forget her, forget him, or whatever. But I don't want nobody judging my character because I don't judge yours. Whatever yours is, this is your thing. You do your thing. I'm here. I don't even have to know you like that.
Right.
And for people to kind of sit back and like pray on your downfall or, just be messy. And I'm like, why are you using that energy being messy toward this person, or even to me? Use that energy toward your own stuff. You feel me?
I think
I don't get it.
I just think that's the temperature now.
Yeah.
It used to be, I'm gonna say honestly, in my opinion, and that I have a strong opinion on that. I think that used to be a South thing, but I think now it's all over America.
Yeah.
Actually, all over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah, because the more you get on social media, you see a lot of this stuff done bled out across the world.
Internationally.
It's everywhere.
I be looking at stuff and I be like, sometimes I put stuff in my stories. Sometimes like, yeah, that's a little much. I ain't gonna put that in my stories. But I be like, yeah, like really? Like honestly, you know how people have like their listeners or people their fans or whatever the case may be. I don't consider myself as having fans. I'm still Chelle. I'm always tell people I'm just Chelle. I really am. But for those who I would like to say are my fans or my listeners, I just call them my loves. My LUVZ, because I'm all about love.
Right.
My LUVZ, we about LOVE. So I don't call them my fans or my, Chelle B's or none of that kind of stuff. They people. I'm a person before a personality. They my loves. That's like, I can see you on the street. I'm like, what's up, my love? You don't even have to listen to me or know who I am.
Where it's in your spirit. Like
Yeah.
you came from that South, you came from the North Side, all of that. It's mixed in there.
But you know something, Asiatic, what's crazy is when I say you have to accept some type of responsibility, because I'm not perfect. I know I'm not. And I would tell somebody who's a true friend, call me on my stuff. If I don't know I'm doing something, I won't know to do better. How can I can't, and I'm not going to go and bash nobody and do nobody wrong. But just in every day, I might say something, I don't realize like that, girl, did I even say that? Or dude, did I even say that? I'm sorry.
Right.
Don't go over here and say, I'm like, Chelle didn't even know she did that. I'm not perfect. Just like, and I would hope that it's the same way. You can tell somebody, you can tell me no with the biggest smile and I can respect it more than you getting ratchet with me. Like, don't do that.
Right.
Don't disrespect anybody. Don't do that.
How do you feel about the way, well, I'm going to ask you this right here. I don't know if you saw it or not. This is another personal question I want to ask you. Did you see the NLE Chopper sit down with Kirk Franklin?
I've seen clips, but I have not seen the whole
what
thing.
What you think about that?
Because I'm noticing Kirk Franklin seems like he got his own podcast. Every time I look up, he talking to somebody else.
He does.
I want to follow it.
He does.
So I don't know the full stories. I just seen clips of him maybe talking to him. I'm like, oh, okay, he talking to Chopper today. Okay, wait a minute, he talking to this person today, and keep going. So tell me so I won't misspeak. And then I want to mention something.
He ate the podcast. NLE is a smart dude.
A lot of them are.
That dude got some anointing on him.
A lot of them
Real
do.
talk. I want to invite you to check that out.
I will.
The full thing, and you probably got to watch it twice because you're gonna miss something.
Yeah.
But the clips that you saw, I don't know which ones you saw. Which ones did you see? Can you remember?
Because that was in the last couple of weeks, right?
Yep. And actually in the last few days, and Ray J was there, right?
It was Ray J, but there was one other person. It was like 3 clips that I have seen.
It was Ray J. It was
who was the other guy that he was talking to? Because he cursed on the who was the person? It's the actor. It's an actor.
Right on my tip of my tongue. The one that got into trouble with the girl, with the white girl. That was in the Rocky movie. That fought with what's that dude's name?
Not Michael B. Jordan.
No, the one that fought Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. That's with Megan Good. That was with Megan Good. Did we talk about him?
What's the dude's name?
And I know his name. The one from the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Yes. And he talked about his stuff.
But it's right on the tip. What's the dude's name?
Hold on. What's my guy that's with KJ? That's with KJ Smith that plays Andrea Barnes on Sisters. Sky Blakk.
Sky Blakk.
He was on there. He was professing his love, that stopped me because I'm a loving person.
Okay.
So I stopped and watched that before.
Man, why the hell I can't think of that dude's name?
And I know it started with an. Does it start with an M? No, and I know his name. Just look up Megan Good's husband. Yeah, Megan Good's husband.
Good. MEGAN.
I think she got another A in there. I think she
Megan
spelled her
Good.
a little. It should come up though.
Yeah. Huh?
No, Devon. No, that's her old. That's her former. He's remarried now. The new person.
On.
Huh? Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, that's him.
the M part. Majors.
Jonathan, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I saw more of his clip. I saw a lot of Sky because he was professing his love and how people didn't think that they should have the happiness they have and they shouldn't have done what they did at their wedding. I was like, that's their wedding. What you talking about?
That was a small part about it, man.
So I got to go back and watch Ellie.
Kirk Franklin's supposed to be, supposing be this man of God, and I'm not judging him either.
Oh, but he's human. He's had his stories as well.
Right.
Yes.
But NLE ate that podcast up.
Really? I got to go back and watch it.
He tore it up. I'm talking about biblically. He know everything. He knows it. He knows it. And the part that the thing that killed me was it was a part in there where Jonathan Majors and Kirk Franklin kind of sort of challenged him in his belief in people worshiping Jesus more than the Father.
I want to ask you a question about that.
Talk to me.
And just remember where you are with it. Mm-hmm. And it's something I always wonder because we do it interchangeably. We were like, my Lord, like, oh, Jesus. And you when you say, my, Lord, and then in your precious son, Jesus' name, but you like, I had to have a little talk with Jesus. So who do you really talk to? Do you talk to God or do you talk to Jesus? Does it have the same outcome if you pray to Jesus as you pray to God? That's a question.
Biblically in the Bible.
Correct.
And I'm paraphrasing because I don't know the
Father,
exact words.
Yes.
Jesus says himself, it's the Father, not me.
He's the beloved son.
Right.
Right.
And I'm only the representation.
But why do you think we do that interchangeably like that? Because of the representation?
Because of the way that, in
the Adam and Eve. And
when we were brought here. And
he gave his only begotten son.
And another thing that really is in our DNA.
Yeah.
It's an emotional attachment because when we were slaves, that was the only time that we wasn't whipped. That was the only time we got to be with our families. That was the only time we didn't have to work. That was the only time that, the women wasn't raped. It was on Sundays. And they had a preacher.
Do you know I did not know that?
Yeah. You can read about it.
Okay. They literally kept the Sabbath day holy. So to speak.
So to speak.
Yeah.
All right. And the so-called pastor, preacher, or whomever, elder, whatever, was appointed by the slave master to teach. They wasn't allowed to read books, the Bible especially. So he would get on a so-called soapbox. Yeah. They didn't have any stages in the churches.
And crates and everything else.
And he would talk about Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's in our DNA. And I even catch people, somebody that's close to me, that does not per se believe in Jesus. That
not God at all, or just Jesus?
Just Jesus.
Okay.
Has this super hyper thing about, and I can feel that to a certain degree.
Is it like a semi-atheist, or is that a thing?
No, it's not. It's hard to explain.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not judging, I'm just asking.
It's the name because of the so-called letter J. What the hell going on out there? But it's the so-called letter J, and it's, people, what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
That has something to do with it. But when something happens, that person says, oh, Jesus. And I always be like, what the hell? You don't believe in Jesus.
And they
just
say it's also a creature of habit. It's in us.
It's in us.
Yeah.
It's
That's
in
why
us.
I've always wanted to ask that question. I mean, because we know that the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. We know all. However you whatever your is
Right.
your denomination or whatever you believe.
But just check that out.
But I just always wondered.
And Ray J, Ray J, he snapped. He did a little.
I think he talked about some stuff with his sisters too, didn't it? Like he talked about a bunch of different things.
He didn't. Did
he mention something on his sister?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think I saw
kind
a
of
clip of
laid
that.
back a little bit, but after they got through, he was at home.
Yeah,
he got on live and he said some things.
He gonna Ray J.
Yeah, he gonna do him.
That's Mississippi now. They from Macomb, Mississippi.
You got to pray for that dude. Ray J, and I
pray
feel him.
For everybody.
I feel him. He's going through a lot. He's going through some things, but just check
I'm gonna check it out because I don't want to misspeak. So I want to, and like I said, I've seen clips. Like I saw like Ray J talk about something with his sister, and I think he caught my attention because we knew Monica and Brandon was going to do some things. Or I saw Sky Blakk when you talk about love, you profess. You better profess your love for your girl. You feel me? But I also listened to what people said about that.
Right.
So some of those things caught my attention. So that's why I saw that Chopper just in passing, but I didn't see all of it. So before I want to speak on it, let me actually watch it.
Yeah, check that out, and then just just give me your thoughts on it. Via text
For
or
sure.
something like that.
And
all right.
I do want. Oh, you need to take a break.
No.
Okay.
No.
I do want to run this back real quick because you asked me a question and I want to make sure that I answer correctly when I said that you have to take some responsibility. So let me get to where I was going with that.
Okay.
You were talking about what is the statement? Not the statement. The word that you used when you said shadow band. Okay. Because I actually never heard it put like that. That's why I asked. Okay.
Look it up.
Shadow band.
It's a real thing.
So I have mentors, and I'm learning. You can't have mentors and you don't listen to them. And I listen to them, so don't get me wrong. But certain things you got to really release and really listen because they are a master in their craft. I mean, everybody can get better in what they do, but you're trying to get an understanding in some things and grow and still remain grounded in this crazy. It's Michelle, if this don't work out, what's your plan B? And I was like, my A, B, C, D, and G, all of them fall under the conglomerate of entertainment. So it's just maybe a bittersweet that my love is a dog eat dog industry. But I just love what I love. So anyway, with followers, right? Because that has been, it's interesting that you said that, because that have been almost in tears, even as recent as like 2 days ago. Because right now my stuff is blocked up. I'm trying to talk to Facebook and Meta through stuff. It's a headache, because they're almost in control of what your destiny could be. God is in the ultimate control. Absolutely. But they're almost in control of what your destiny is. I'm like, hey, you blocking my stuff. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So, and algorithms is a whole nother story. We're not going to get into that's a whole nother podcast. But at the end of the day, I have so much content that is not out there. One of my mentors, shout out to Lawrence Terrell. You know, he's actually from Mississippi, but he's a movie producer and all these different things. I have all this content, and he's seen pieces of it. Not pieces like 2%. He's seen quite a bit. But when he's helping me certain things and teaching me certain things or whatever, and he's getting a chance to see stuff that I'm working on, he was like, Chelle, why isn't this stuff out here on your pages? I was like, child, I don't want people thinking I'm all that or something. That's bad for me. I'm being honest when I tell you that, because people will make you get that mindset, that mentality. I was like, I'm out here just trying to do my thing. I got places I want to go, and I know I need to get these interviews. I know I need to get this. I need to get that in order to even be considered for something. And on top of that, now I got to have the followers to go with it. Back in the day, followers didn't even matter. You know, you follow in real time, not online.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I was like, man. So he was like, I need you to do something. And if you say you follow me. I don't know if you noticed a big change in my Instagram page. The reason why my Instagram page, which is Chelle BMW, that's BMW, that's CHELLE BMW. Those are my initials backwards. But I always say, like the car I don't have, we can speak that thing into existence. I'm about manifesting, but it got nothing to do with my name like that. That's just what I spill on the air. But it's really my initials backwards. But you'll notice on my Instagram how it has gone from like, honestly, almost 100%. Let's say 98%. Chelle, family, love, that kind of stuff, and a little bit of entertainment. Oh, I met such. I did an interview, yada yada yada. I want to have the stuff on the station pages because I'm the social media and content creation manager for WJMI and for Kicks 107. So I run those pages as well. And now when you see them fall contests and stuff, that's from my corporate office. They knows I ain't giving away no money, but the content person. Right. So, but when I do those things, he was asking me, why don't you have this stuff out on your pages? I need for you to switch your Instagram. He said, like, I'm looking at all this. I even see the stuff you do for Jackson State. I see you the voice and you the host when it comes to, basketball, these sports and games and volleyball, football. He said, people don't care about that. I was like, huh? He said, no disrespect to you. He said, this is amazing. But I said, but look how much traction this one got. They said, yeah, because you right here in Mississippi. These people out here don't care about that. He said, and you're such a loving person at home. He said, all of this is nice. Get rid of all of it. Yeah. I was like, what?
He's absolutely
I had to
right.
go and archive. Now, my Instagram page started with timbre. And my first post was, I had my hair like in an old school French rose to the side of the back with the curls. And she was in the studio doing my hair like this, like in the summer, right before I went to DC. And that's one of my first Instagram posts. And I had to go all the way back to 2010, 2011.
So did you archived it?
I archived it. That's what I was about to say. Why you didn't delete it? Because I can't. That's what I was just about to say. Now, I did do what he said, but but what I did was you can't see it. But a lot of that stuff is, my mom and my dad. And
did you save it? You didn't save it?
Oh, the stuff is archived. It's there.
No, what I'm saying, do you have it on a physical hard drive or something?
Well, now, yeah, some stuff is on a hard drive. But think about from 11 years ago, me going through hard drives of stuff. Not 11 years ago. This is 2015, right? So that's 14 years ago. I started starting radio really more in 2011.
Girl, find some time. You find somebody and teach them. Trust me on this. Let me give you this. Find somebody that a niece, nephew, somebody that loves social media. Give them a little something.
Only child.
Get you a hard drive.
No nieces and nephews.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I'm always by myself.
You ain't got nobody.
Nobody in my family does
I tell you
entertainment
what,
like that.
we'll find somebody.
I'm working.
But get that stuff and put it on a hard drive. Trust me.
Because if stuff crash or Instagram crashes,
if something happens, you just said they're in full control.
Yes.
Get that stuff and put it on a hard drive. Girl, you're gonna be a billionaire. You need that. You need it.
Say that again, because I
You're
received.
gonna be a billionaire.
I received that.
And that's why when I look at I almost get frustrated. Cause I'm like, she's still stuck here. What the hell?
Did you notice a growth for a short time span?
Yeah.
I'm just
a small one.
It went from like I can't give exact numbers, but let's just say it went from 5,500 to like 8,000 in like 2 seconds.
No.
And I was like, dang, I done been on Instagram since 11. I ain't had none of this kind of growth because I did what he told me to do.
My son can tell you now. When you doing what they want you to do or what they don't mind you doing, oh, you grow. What's getting like how many on the Two Black Too Strong media page for a while? 400 a day, and that's just with 1 or 2 posts. Then something hit. He put something on there, and it stopped.
Yeah.
Immediately stopped. And then one time it stopped, and I erased some stuff, and it started back, and it went for like 2
Yeah,
or 3
because they'll
days.
block your page up.
It's shadow banned. That's what they call it. It's not a block. It's not a full block, because if you go through your Meta, if you go through that and you check everything, you're clear. You haven't. You don't have
everything is in green. So maybe block is the wrong word, but it's a road block. Put it like that.
Yeah, they call it's called shadow ban.
Okay.
And if you Google that, it'll take. I even looked the other day, like what can you do about a shadow ban? And see, I'm too busy to get online and do all of that. And now I got him busy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got grandkids now. My little grandson, he ain't even
Y'all
one
don't
yet.
believe that he is a granddad.
Yeah, 9 times.
Wow,
Yeah.
Blakk.
So my youngest,
It's a blessing.
I'm gonna take him, and he gonna be the one. I'm gonna pass him a phone, and he gonna, And I've been telling my son, look, hey, I'm tired.
Do you
I've been
want to
doing
know
this too
something?
long.
Do you want to know something? And this is not to cut you off. I apologize to interject because you just said something. When we have like family gatherings in my family, I'm almost like 3rd or 12. My dad, they 8, 9 siblings or whatever. So I come from a big family, and believe it or not, whenever we have gatherings, whether it's for somebody's birthday or somebody, something big happened, or Christmas, Easter, whatever, Mother's Day, Thanksgiving, guess who's the person that's sending all that out? Guess who they call? Hey, Chelle, send us the pictures that you took. It's always me. And I'm not saying that as a complaint, but it's always me. And just to let you know, I do have stuff on hard drives. I have stuff on hard drives, but I would have to go back through a whole lot of stuff. So there are versions of those pictures somewhere else. Let me just say that. But I didn't want to delete them off my page because they're mine.
Right.
And so you don't have to see them, but I couldn't delete them. I was like, I can't delete this. I cannot. I mean, I deleted some of them flyers, but I couldn't delete them. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still a person before the personality. So instead of being more like 90-year-old, let's just say 95, homie, or loving, and the real who Chelle is, simply Chelle, and 5% entertainment. Now it's like 95% entertainment and 5% of the Chelle part.
Gotcha.
Because I had a mentor who told me I need to do that. And as soon as I started dropping stuff, that's when I started saying like, yeah, dog. And even though it's not 1 million followers, that's noticeable to me because I hadn't had that.
Right.
And all the different content I got, my prayer is, and it's so interesting how this keeps coming up. My prayer is to be, elevated and increase where I can afford to have a team.
Right.
That's with legal. That's with content. That's with
speaking good stuff,
management.
girl.
That's with glam. And I want to also know what they're doing because I need to be well rounded as well. I can't just trust them, not because I don't trust them, but I've seen too many artists and too many people in this world
all away.
And don't know what's going on. And then next thing you know, they're going to jail for tax evasion or they got something. And I may not. That's why I say I might be a people's person, but I move in silence way more than people know. And I sit back and I watch while you watching your football game over here. No judgment. Shout out to your football game. I'm over here watching the unsung and the uncensored and watching Entertainment Tonight and how they do certain things. I'm like, man, I want to make sure that that never happens to me. And I hate that happened to her. Or I have that happen to this group. It's the biggest group in the world. How you broke?
You know
what I'm saying? And it's not judging, but I'm looking at that. I'm soaking that all in because I'm stepping into an industry that they've been in years, and it's crazier now than it was back then. Well, you would think, you would seem like it is. I think it's just different levels of how things are done. And I don't want to end up in that. So, you know, some of that is the responsibility, is me taking accountability that I didn't have all my stuff out there. So now anything come up, oh, today Kirk Franklin birthday, let me go over here and pull my Kirk Franklin stuff in my interview. Let me drop that over here. And let me find a little spin on it. And I've also added a series. If you notice, I got a Let's Talk About It, Let's Chat About It love series, which I'm gonna drop something today. You know, and that's because that is a subsidiary of what's to come. I can't say what it is right now, but that's a subsidiary
engagement
of what's to come. And so I have seen a change since I've done that. And I wanted to grow more, because let me tell you the stifling part. There are other jobs and opportunities that I want to do. When I tell you, and I'm going to always say this wherever I go, so I'm going to tell you guys, and look right and see, this is my camera right here, right? Pretty much all of them. I'm trying to get like him, not all of them.
He got it on.
All of them. ALLUM with a hashtag in the front. All right, so let me say this to you. And this is for anybody. I don't care what age you are, even the youngest of babies that may be watching it, because baby, they be on their devices more than anything. It doesn't matter how old you are or what age you are, you have to always allow yourself to be a student. I'm not afraid to tell you, October 2nd, I just turned 40 years old, okay? And there's still so much more I can soak up, and I want to learn, I want to grow. There's no growth in complacency. There's always room for enhancement. So I don't care if you 40, I don't care if you 50, you could be 70 or you can be 7. You don't know everything. And you always surround yourself with people who know more than you do, not because you're taking advantage of them, but you're taking advantage of an opportunity. And you grow, but you need to pay that forward as well. We all can win. So I'm very passionate about that. I don't just say that on air. That's something I try to practice. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to get there. So I had to take that and install that into the equation. And, you know, of my mentor's telling me to do this, Chelle, do it. So I'm like, okay, let me do it. You know what I mean? So I'm working on it. It gets frustrating, but I know it's just as it's getting frustrating, if I let that frustration stop me, then what's going to happen then? You know what I mean? It's a journey.
Speaking of that, what was out of your whole career? Interviewing?
Yeah.
Just being out there with celebrities, people in general.
People.
What was your worst experience?
What was my worst experience? Ooh, I'm not saying names, but there's an artist, and oftentimes you have different personalities. More often than not, it'd be their entourages. They don't even be the talent. They be the coolest person in the world. But sometimes the talent can be a little something too, but it helps you grow because you know how to deal with different personalities. I've seen that before. But I did have an artist who, so you know, it's a he. It was at BET Awards. We were interviewing in LA. And I was like, so, you know, what's going on? You know, I mean, it's nothing like this. I'm just giving a paraphrase. You know, what's going on? You know, this your first time at the BET Awards, or, you know, what's something, you know, your favorite cuisine? Like, I just jump around and do different things, but it made sense in the time based on who this artist was. But this is how it went. Just give me one word. Like just think about the word, okay, or yeah, or yeah, or this was me.
Short.
I was like, so is how you doing today?
Yeah. Okay.
Any collaborations with anybody?
No.
So what can we expect on the show tonight? Can we, you know,
just gonna do my thing.
This is kind of how it was. I was like, and I was like, oh my God. Like,
how did you handle it?
I kept on doing my thing. I kept doing what I normally do. I didn't change who I was based on what they did.
Yeah.
But I just was like, oh my dear God. Like that always stick with me. And this was years ago.
You gonna tell me who it was?
I'll tell you off the air who it was. But then I watched him get on that stage and kill it. I was like, yo. But you know how you got some people who don't talk like that.
This was before the performance?
This was before their performance.
Okay, let me say this. Well,
but you know, they had to come into the press room. They had to do red carpet. They had to do, after the fact is over.
Afterwards, did you talk? Did y'all talk afterwards?
No, because unless you in a private room at the after party or something, all the press is done. You know, it's an experience from Thursday through pretty much Monday. Sunday is really when it ends. All that happens before they hit the stage, right when they go on a sound check, right when they do this. It's a variation.
I'm gonna put that on the industry. Have you had any talks with that person since then?
No.
Okay. I guarantee the next time it'll be better. Let me say this. When some performers are getting ready to perform,
they in a zone.
They zoning.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, I've seen this. I don't know if you've experienced this yet. You know, a lot of them have to throw up
No, I did not know that, but I can believe that. When people say, "Chelle, you're not hungry," I was like, I can't eat right now. I don't throw up, but when I'm in I can't. That's with me hosting. You can't do it.
A lot of them throw up. A lot of them can't talk. Mm-hmm. They're actually, it's something mental they deal with. And I've tried to zone like that. I can't do it. I've tried, like when I'm getting ready to interview somebody, I've tried reading about them. Mm-hmm. I got notes here now. I can't do it.
You know what's crazy? That's interesting because I'll have like, let's say if I had some talking points or something in my hand, do you know, unless I'm the producer or somebody who wants me to read these things because they're trying to get certain type of sponsorships, I have to say certain things. Mm-hmm. I have that in my hand. I'm like, you know what? I never did look at that paper because I'm a conversationalist.
Yeah. I guess that's what it is, but
I didn't judge him.
Forgive him.
Let me just say this. I did not, and when I look like this, because I was like, I'm not going to say a name. That's what it was. He was not disrespectful. He wasn't nasty or anything like that. He was just so dry. And it wasn't nothing for me to have to forgive him for. Yeah. It just was like, okay, well, I've never had that before, so I can kind of recognize that again. But then too, this was like one of my first, maybe second years at BET Awards. So this was over a decade ago, right? Mm-hmm. And a decade ago, I guess. It's not over a decade, a decade ago. But because you want to know. And but then after I work with so many people or in their spaces, a lot of times I fall back, and sometimes I miss the opportunity because I fall back. But I also know that there is a balance between trying to get an exclusive, trying to get an interview, and also overcrowding them. Too many people coming at them, you know. So sometimes I kind of stand right here, and I'm like, let me move when I need to move.
Who taught you that?
That's just me, because let me tell y'all something. I do feel energy, but let me tell you something, which I didn't know that people paid attention to this until recently. I've heard one or two people say it in the past, but recently I've heard several people to say it to me. And as recent as 2 days ago, I had a meeting with someone who mentioned it to me as well. It's like, Chelle, something about you when you interview people, that you make them feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. People can't do that. And it's not like I wrote down, okay, these are things I want to do. Okay, I need to make them feel comfortable. It's nothing that I've done like that. Mm-hmm. It may be my thought process. My thought process is they're already being, they don't always want to feel like they're on trial. Put it like that. Mm-hmm. I always say, you know how I say I don't judge, I just only indulge? Right. They don't always be on trial. Some people like to put them on trial. That's just not my style. Right. So we're going to get into this thing. I'm going to find out, what you got going on. Oh shoot, we're from the South too. You feel me? We're going to get into it, right? Right. And then after we get over, like not get over, but get past, why we here, what you got coming up, man, let's have a little fun. I got this game. Let's talk about it. Now be real with me. So what we going to do? Let me test your gangster a little bit, Right. I want to have a good time with it. TMZ, no disrespect, because they be on their stuff. I ain't lying. They be more credible sometimes than others. But the TMZs or any of these other, outlets or entities or whatever that you have, because I'm not against opportunities. I'd be blessed to work with any of these things. But what I'm telling you is they're always going to always do that. Right. I'm not trying to be like everybody else. Right.
They're
so
pushing at you.
And that's the thing about it. But I'm genuinely that way anyway. Yeah. I don't have to act like I want to be genuine. I am genuine, and that's just what it is. And I mean, do I have some blows? Yeah, you have some blows. Everything is not gonna be perfect, but you learn and you move on to the next thing. Or I'm not gonna go that realm. And I'm also learning, like, if I ask a question, these are things I don't know, y'all. And I'm honest to tell you. This is one particular thing I want to say. I don't mind being honest, right? Because that's how I get better. That's how you get better. And maybe this is something that you can ponder on as well. And Blakk, maybe you can help me. You've been in the game. I respect your what you do, what you've done, and what you're still doing. So I asked someone that had access to a talent. Mm-hmm. I was trying to get an interview, and I'm the kind of person, they were like, Chelle, I knew that person. Why didn't you ask? Not this particular instance, but I've had people to say, I know this person. Why didn't you ask me? Or why didn't you say something? I was like, because I try not to, just because I know Asiatic know all these people. I'm not gonna call you, but I need an interview. I need this. I need that, because then you're harassing people. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say sometimes you can miss the opportunity, because you might not always judge that maybe that was the time I probably should have said something. Mm-hmm. I do think that, but then I always time, well, I'm gonna go, and I can't go that way. Let me go a different way. You know what I mean? Moving in silence, right? Mm-hmm. But this is my question. So I had asked this person about somebody they had access to, they had worked with. I didn't ask this person to ask the talent anything. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask this person to put a word in for me or nothing. Mm-hmm. I just asked, hey, do you know who their booking person is or their managers? A lot of times you can't just get that online. You know what I mean? Right. And I just asked, do you know who it is, so that I can have a conversation with that person and do my pitch myself. I never said put any word in. I was and I didn't say, all I said was, do you know who that person? Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, make sure I give it to you. We're finna do something right then. And so I went and helped this person do the stuff they needed to get done. And I reminded this person several times, like, hey, don't forget to give me such and such number that you was gonna give me. They could even give me an email address. I just needed access to talk to somebody. I was gonna go the right way, the right protocol. I didn't ask you to put yourself out there. This would be anybody that your son know. Okay, yeah, you got to call, Jack Blakk over here to get in contact with Jay Blue over here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like it was something that was crazy. And do you know that person ignored me? And this is somebody that I have rocked with for the longest.
Totally ignored you?
Totally ignored me.
No correspondence?
No correspondence. And I was like, are you kidding me? And the reason I'm saying this, I'm not petty or anything like that. I'm not going to say any names, but I want to ask you a question, because when I told this to somebody else, and I talked to them just because I like to talk to people who I feel like I can trust to talk to and give me a genuine response, and not just going to be just flabbergasted me, you know what I'm saying, just flubbing or whatever. So I'm going to ask you this. This person said to me, do you know, for something like that, and I don't know if this is a thing, I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm gullible when it comes to that. I'm learning. I'm still learning, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, Chelle, you want to know why they didn't get it to you? Because people pay thousands and thousands of dollars for the information. I said, really? That's a thing? I got to drop you 2 stacks for something that I do for you for free all the time?
You know, it's some people out here like that. It's some people out here like that. I've never in my damn life.
Never ran across that before.
I've never in my life had to, was offered, a way to pay for nothing. Neither have I ever charged anybody for any information. But here's the thing, that particular person probably either one or two things: wanted to hold power over you, didn't know how to come at you, probably had more respect than to ask you to pay for that information, or did not have the information themselves.
They did have the information themselves.
You know that they had the information.
They have.
So
if I tell you, I'm not gonna do it now, but you're gonna be like, oh yeah, it ain't that then.
Which is the same thing as hating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the street terminology for it. But some people just like that.
Well, see, and I'm asking the question, like I said, not to put anybody on blast, just because I'm learning as well, and it's a teachable moment. I was like, is that how that's done? Because I didn't know that. I'm like. Yes, I didn't know you had to pay to, and especially when I've been doing these kind of things for you for free.
Yeah. I
didn't know.
Yeah, we ain't got to go into a long tangent about it, but that exists.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
And it's out there. So what's the best moment?
Oh man, now I've had some great moments. You know what I'm saying? They come and they go. It's.
Oh, before we go, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you my worst. The reason I asked you that, my worst was with Snooty Wild. You remember Snooty Wild?
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, he's passed.
No. I'm talking about like anything from him. I know he's not here, but anything from him, like wow. Yeah. How long ago was this?
2010, 12.
Wow.
14.
Because I was like, it had to have been a while ago. I know he's not here, but I was like, I haven't really heard the name or anything from him in a long time.
On the coast. And it wasn't, we had a good, I think I don't know, he was pissed about something that night, but he was on one. Mm-hmm. I think he was high out of his mind because it was one of them. And a couple of times he didn't say nothing.
Just sat there and looked.
We were standing in the green room, and I asked him a question. He just looked.
Like, what? So that's what we doing?
Yeah, I think he was numb. So I had to come back fast. You know, me, him, Mystical.
Run that back.
Yeah, it was
interesting. Did you ever run into that person again, though? That's what you asked me. Did you ever run into him a while again? Did you have another chance?
Yeah, and we had dealt with each other before. So that's why I think he was.
It was a moment. He had something going on.
I think he was high.
Wow. Oh, okay.
I think he might have had a moment. He had this look on his face, and he
might not even if he were still here, he might not even remember that moment. He might not even know the world.
And I think I'm gonna say this. I think that had something to do with his demise.
Yeah.
Because
when you said that,
situation he got caught up in,
minute.
I'm like, what the hell he doing there? So yeah. But that was one. That was mine.
You know, I have. You know, let me see. Okay, let me say this, and I can say this publicly because she said on the air all the time. So Christiana, we went to BET Awards one year, and we've been several years, but we went to BET Awards one year, and you know they'll tell you, oh, we got such and such coming to the table, and sometimes they might not have an announcer that tells them, or their publicist or whomever, or the person that's working the room telling you who's coming. You got to get up and work that floor. You just got to do what you got to do, especially when they're considered a lower level market. We were number one, 100,000 watts, and been there even before I was there when I was little.
Right.
But still, when you in a room with these big conglomerates, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, because we play your music just like they play your music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let me say this. So we had somebody get ready to come to the table. And Chris was like, she was like, I don't know who that is or whatever. And we was trying to get those interviews. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who that is. I was like, man, you can't sleep on the underdog. They might end up being somebody one day. And she was like, yeah. So she was like, I'm going to go ahead and do some editing while you grab the interview. And I was like, okay, or whatever. Or I don't know if she did some editing or she went to do something that she needed to do. It was something important, but she let me go ahead and handle the interview, or when she came back or whatever the case may be. I don't remember those specifics. It was a while ago. But it's gonna hit you in a second when I tell you that I said we can't sleep on them because these people might blow up. You know what I'm saying? These were two ladies. Okay. That's, you know, BET Awards, that's in June.
Right.
Within probably a month and a half, and they're stretching it.
Right.
This big old thing went crazy. City girls are out here, they doing everything. Yada yada yada. I was like, hey Chris, them chicks we were talking to. I told you. She for a while she was like, Chelle B said it. She sure said it. I need to go back and find them pictures too, of City Girls. And then eventually I think one of them ended up having to deal with, going to jail and some things. And I'm glad that she did get out and all of that. But this was 2 seconds before they blew up. We were just with y'all a month ago.
And
I said, this is why you can't sleep.
Yep.
So that's not necessarily a best moment. That's a best feeling moment, because you can't sleep on the underdog. Never
in life.
Sleep on an underdog. You feel me?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I break a lot of artists. I'm talking about from the Jay-Z's all the way down.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling in the world, knowing I was there first. That's the best feeling.
And it's
in
not
the
about
world.
clout. It's just knowing that you are respecting and just courtesy of people, and they're on their grind just like you are. No matter what genre, what entity they're on, the common denominator is they're on a grind just like you are.
And
they need an opportunity.
Thank you. Being blessed to have that opportunity, and it was nothing there for you to grab a hold of.
I didn't know who they were, and I
Right.
just was like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me about yourself. You feel me?
But that's a staple. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Y'all put a bullet in there. Real talk. And y'all learn from that.
Yeah.
So what's next for Chelle B?
You asked me one of my best moments. So let me see if I can try to pull one best moment, because I've had several. Let me just do a recent one. All right. And it's out there on my pages. So I recently interviewed MC Light. If you know Chelle B, baby, I'm a 90s girl. You know how you have what's the living single? You say, ooh, I'm glad I got my girl. You know the whole thing. So I took it and remixed my own words. I'm like, ooh, I'm an 80s kind of girl in the 90s, where like I remixed the song, right? And so because I'm that hip hop 90s, people know you're gonna come to me. Yeah, I can dress up or whatever, but in all honesty, people see me and think I'm fashion, right? And I'm like, yo, I'm a hoodie chick, a hat chick all day long. Don't let this fool you. All day long. And I like my puffs. I like my, I used to rock the jabots and the Tommy Hilfigers. I love those type of things because I feel like you can be comfortable and cute. I loved Aaliyah, bless her soul, because she was street but sweet. That was my style all day. And it still is my style. So I look up to people like MC Light, on top of the fact that she is a voice of so many award shows, and I aspire to do that as well. I do it here in Jackson for the Jackson Film Festival. I do their, at certain times of the year, I do their social media, but I'm their announcer inside of the awards, on the nominees and live and correspondent, all these type of things. So I do it to a certain degree already, right? But she's, Grammys and BET Awards and hip hop honors and so many more things. So I have been trying to interview her for 6 years.
I was about to ask you, and you got one up on me. You got one up on me because I have never interviewed her ever.
Oh my God!
A lot of interviews I've done couldn't be recorded. because they was on spot. You see what I'm saying? And I got an archive of interviews from way back. This podcast thing, I was doing it before I knew what a podcast was. So I got a lot of that stuff. But you got one up on me on that one.
Listen,
MC Light.
When I tell you, and let me tell you what was so different about that moment, and because you watched, you may have. I write captions, child. I like to write. I secretly like to write scripts. It ain't no secret. I like to write. But I like to tell a story. When I post too, that's also some of my problem. And it may be a blessing and a curse. I don't just post to post. A lot of times, and I've had a couple people who said to me, "Shell, it's almost like you tell a story when you do your stuff." I said, "I'm glad it reads." You know what I'm saying? But everybody has their own vibe. Anyway, so it took me 6 years to have that interview. I'm talking about from LA, BET Awards, to I always say I went from LA to LA because Essence will always be right after Los Angeles, after BET Awards. So you go from LA the city to LA the state. But Essence Fest, it would be, she got to get to sound check, can't do it. And this year I wanted to cry, but I said, once I get past this will never happen again. I couldn't get my audio to work, right? This was like 2 years ago. I couldn't get my audio to work at the BET Awards.
What did you have? Just on your phone or what?
No. I had my setup, but I did not know that the setup that I had been using on my phone wasn't compatible to my computer. Oh. I did not know that. When I tell you I'm still learning, and I'm a one-woman band. Now I be on those things by myself.
It happens.
She was in the room, and I'm like trying to get my stuff to work. I didn't know that I just need to take this off and just let's just do this on my phone. You know what I mean? I had my whole setup. I had everything going. I was, representing the station, make sure I do my job with that. And I was like, why the hell is this sucker not working? And so they was like, we're going to circle back to you. And next thing I know, she was gone and she was supposed to come back to my table. So I was like, y'all, I missed that interview. And I tried to get the interview before COVID. This was before COVID. And the one I'm just talking about happened 2 years ago. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then the next week, she walked in that room at Essence. And I was like, but people, when she came in, so many people attacked her. And I was like, dang, who over there? I said, yo, that's MC Light. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, there is no way I will get trampled over there. So I said, okay, wait a minute. Because this has been like the 4th or 5th time I've been trying to get this interview. So I went over there with the madness. But I wasn't pulling at her. I was right there with her manager. Manager was like, we got to go. And I was like, you had to say stuff quick. I'm like, hey, I'm Chelle B, Jams, I said, I've been trying to get the interview. I was just with y'all at BET last week. Y'all were supposed to come back to me. I tried to get, she was like, take my number. Why she doing this to everybody, not being mean to them, get out the way, It was so many people that had to get her out of the room.
Right.
And I consistently kept up with them. And it wasn't completely about the interview because I also care about people. So I would just check in on it. And I guess I can say these things now. I couldn't say it then, but, her mom passed back in July. Her mom passed, right?
Right.
I knew about her mom being sick before the world did because every time we get ready to do an interview, it got to the point we was going to try to do it on Zoom. She was a caregiver for her mom because her mom wasn't doing well. Or, and I never shared that with anybody. And I would just text just to say how you doing, how she's doing. Ask my manager how she doing. She human. You know what I'm saying? How she doing? Not for the interview, just because I know that's one of my biggest fears. My mommy and my daddy. You come back this little something. That's my mommy and my daddy.
Right.
And so I would check in just to see how they were doing. Eventually, she was like, "Child, we remember you." She didn't say child. She was like, "Girl, you and your pink hearts," because I love love. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
You and your pink hearts. And she was like, "We remember you from BET. We remember you from Essence." She said, "Let me just say this to you. One thing about you," and it's so interesting that she made this comment because I say this to people. There's a difference between being consistent and being persistent and harassment.
Yeah.
So I would check in every now and then. And if she says she's going to call me back and I may not follow up with her right then, and then she'll follow up 2 weeks because she's like, girl, you didn't even call me. I said, girl, I know y'all rolling. Y'all on tour. I was going to check back in. So we kind of did this back and forth for a while. And then she said, hey, I know we were supposed to I had got my hair done and everything for this interview. At the last second, they had to cancel. I was like, yeah, dog, they had to cancel because something had happened with her mom. So I just kept being, I was like, okay, patience is a virtue. I'm going to stick with it. And she said, one thing about you, Chelle, is that in this industry, you have to follow up with people. You do. And I understand that sometimes you don't have a win all the time. Blakk, you don't. But you can't change. You just make sure you're respectful of whatever you do. You know what I mean? She was like, you have been persistent with us, and you have been one of the most understanding people. She said, you stuck with us now. She said, I'm going to make sure at some point we're going to get this interview. I check in just to see how they were doing. And then if it is coming closer to a calendar day, I may check in or she may check in. And then the way it worked with Essence this year, and I can say this because Essence had so much stuff going on, and they, you saw artists write letters, and Essence were trying to say, hey, we heard you, let's switch some things around. We were victims of that. You know what I mean? I'm not bashing Essence. I'm just saying we were victims of that. So I can tell you firsthand, it was hella different. And I've been going for years, doing the same thing, broadcast. I don't think I've ever really experienced Essence because I've always gone doing broadcast, right?
Right.
So she came into the room at Essence this year. Now, I knew she was coming into the room because her manager had been saying, "Hey, we are gonna do Essence. We'll be in the room. Are you interested?" Yeah, I'm in the room. I was like, okay. When she came in the room, she stopped at the backdrop because everybody take a picture of her at the backdrop. So I was just standing there, and one of the young ladies who was working the room. Sometimes you got to always be nice to people, and I was like, "I'm just not putting people on blast. This is you can tell me no with a smile, and I can respect it a whole lot better." This young lady says to me, "Oh, no, excuse me. Hi, how you doing? I'm such and such. I will be, escorting you through the room. Where would you like to start? I think we're going to go over this." She said, "Excuse me, we're right here to see this lady right here. That's the only reason we're in here." Now, let me tell you something about me. I'm the kind of person where I'm chill, right? I'm on the grind. Don't get me wrong, but I'm chill. But every now and then you got to get cocky. Because I was like, now what you just did was do this to me. Instead of saying, "Hold on, one Chelle, let me talk to her for a second." Whoever the young lady that was working the room, and this is something that's a teachable moment now. She may or may not ever see this, but it's a teachable moment for anybody. There's always a way to talk to people. You push me out the way like I was nobody because MC Light is in the room. Yeah, she is a major artist, but she's still a person. I'm still a person. And that when I tell you she got red so fast, they followed me all the way to the other side over there to my setup. Finished that interview. She had with the Van Van, the little girl that been touring with her. Is it Van Van? I think her name Van Van. She be with Aries. I'm making sure I don't say her name wrong. I gotta look it up because I do have a soundbite from her. So forgive me if I said the name wrong, darling. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make it right. But so she followed me all the way over there and did the interview. I'm never any kind of person that toots my own horn or anything like that. There are moments where when people say, "You might think you all that," and if I'm in a motivational space where I'm talking to students, say I am all that because you have to feel good about yourself. But I don't walk around cocky with my head up like that. That's not who I am. But in that moment, I was like, you feel me? So while you just pushed me out the way, that lady pushed you out the way. It was like, no, we're here for her.
Was she?
I don't know her. You meet different people. Now, every now and then you have the same people in the room, but you have different people who are like volunteers. She was so rude to me. And I was like, and the reason I was standing where I was standing because her manager was like, "Where you at?" And I'm like, "I'm right behind you." So I was standing because she had been telling me, "Hey, we coming through. She got to get me in, get me out." So I was standing right there. I stood back and let them do the pictures and stuff. I never announced anything. I was very subtle. But when she turned around, because she was like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm right here." So she turned around, she's like, "Hey," before I got a chance to even say anything, "Hey," back, the girl was like, "Excuse me, I'm da-da-da-da. I'll be escorting you." She was like, "We're going with her." Basically, this girl you just pushed out the way. That's who we're here to see. We ain't here to see nobody else.
God damn it.
Why would we do that?
Hey, you know,
but
a lot of us got that in us.
But what I will say is this, Blakk, for those who have not seen that post, and I'm manifesting the opportunity where I get a chance to even talk to her even more. I made the best of the few minutes that I had with her. I have this game called Tell Me. I'd like to do different things. So Tell Me More, they had to pull a card, read the question to the camera, answer it, right? She pulled a card that said, who is someone you look up to and what about them do you admire the most? And she was like, "Well, I recently lost my mom." So when you see that video, I got the camera on her when she said that. If I should actually show you the video where you can see us both in the shot. Because I did this. Because I just checked on you and your mama 2 days ago. Like, when did she die? I was like, now you did see the camera come back to me when I did this. But I was already like this, oh my God. And I was like, looking at our manager like, oh my God, I didn't know. And so, talk about an exclusive. At that point, nobody in the world knew that her mom had died. She hadn't announced it or nothing. Right? She announced it while she was at Essence.
Right.
She hadn't announced it or anything. And that's why you see in the caption I said this, because of Instagram and its craziness, you can't do more than 90 seconds or something, more than 3 minutes or something. I have to say specifics and put the rest in my caption. Right. So I'm not gonna have I'm not gonna half-ass anything. That's just who I am. I'm gonna do it all. I'm not gonna do it at all. So when it came to doing stuff like that, I said sometimes the word exclusive is just that. a word. I told her team I wouldn't dare post this interview until after she announces herself. She deserved the right to, and the respect to live in that moment herself and announce it the way that she wanted to. And I'm glad that God used one of my crazy creative, something I always do, to allow her even that moment to just reminisce. So nobody knew about it. But when she told the world, a manager texted me and said, yeah, she just announced it and I saw it. I waited till her birthday. It turns out her birthday is October the 11th and her name is my name, middle name. Both her names Michelle. And I didn't know that until then. But yeah, so that was something that I have always looked up to and someone I always look up to, and patience is a virtue. But I didn't take that exclusive and run with the exclusive. I allowed her to do that for her and her mom.
That's genuine.
Yeah.
That's very genuine. So where you going now? What's next for Chelle B?
Wherever God takes me, I'm open, and when I say I'm open, there's several things that I love to do, and I just need the opportunity.
When the movie's coming, when the movie's coming.
Child, you want to call me tomorrow? You got the setup. We gonna do the movie right here.
Hey,
you got the setup.
Right. I just want to be in the background. I want to see how you work.
Well, honestly,
that's what I want to see.
I like the foreground and the background because I love to write.
Okay.
Award-winning scripts for JSU Day of Giving. I love to write.
How did you find all this time to do all of this stuff you doing by yourself?
Just in moment. I'm the kind of person, I'm in my sleep. If I think of something, if I don't turn over and put the note in my phone, I can't go back to sleep.
So you like that
I
too?
turn and I turn the TV on. I can't sleep without the TV. Because it is almost like that's like my white noise. Even if I might even see 1 second of what's on, that shuts it down for me. Otherwise, I'm be sitting there, I can be as tired as I'll get out, and I'll be sitting there in the dark like, oh my God, I need to do this. Oh, I can do this. Oh, you know what, if I did this,
wow,
that's me all day. So I love the red carpet. I want to be able, let me speak into existence. I want to have those sponsorships and those endorsements and be sponsored to go cover these events.
It's coming.
I want to be able to do all that. Yeah, I want to still be able to do radio and build relationships along the way. And yeah, like I want to be able to do some of the writing and the directing too. I want to do all of it. And at some point, I will get back to my first love, which is singing. At some point, I will get back to my. If you friends me on Facebook, don't it say Michelle somewhere?
Yeah, I know, but
at some point, and did you see when I shouted out Crystal Renee Hazlett and I sung "Happy Birthday" to her? My voice is just coming back because I'm hosting 5 events for homecoming. Baby, I didn't have no voice. I said we're going to reschedule this interview.
What happened? What'd you do? Screaming at somebody? What did you do?
Talking about what?
When you called me and your voice was gone.
Because it was 2 days, I hosted 5 events, and then I still had 2 events throughout the week to host for JSU homecoming. I ain't hating. We took home that win, but. I wasn't sick. I think my voice just needed a rest. My vocal cord said, I am tired.
Do you do any therapy for your voice?
I do not do therapy for my voice, but one of my mentors, which is Palmer Williams from the Tyler Perry shows, Palmer Williams Jr. actually, he taught me about throat coat. People like to joke about that, but it's a real deal. So with teas, and he put me on vocal rest and things of that sort. So, I was still using my voice because I was still hosting, but over time, I'm out working and doing something throughout the day, so I'm editing, so my voice is quiet or whatever. And I just think over time, and if I get to a certain level in a minute, you can still hear my voice go out because it's not 100%. But yeah, that was my first love. I grew up singing in weddings and competitions. What's another full circle moment really quickly before we go? BET. So, BET was a dream for me. I lived in DC working there. I hate cold weather, but I love the job. And so the college tour. I was still there for a while. I was working in special projects. That's the one that put on all of the BET awards and hip hop awards, this and the third. That was well before I ever came to the awards interviewing or anything. This was way before then.
Right.
And I graduated from Full Sail University and moved to DC in January. So I had to wait to walk because I'm like, we're gonna wait to walk because I'm finna move.
Right.
And so when we moved back to Mississippi, I ended up coming back to Mississippi because eventually, unless somebody, which is unfortunately, pass or move on to another entity, those jobs they're not easy to come across. So there was nowhere to really put me. You know what I mean? So I did come back to Mississippi, but when I came back or whatever, I was with Timber for like 2 seconds, but then I started over at where I am now. And at WJMI, it's so many different conglomerates. But yeah, I started there when I got back. But BET hired me to become the Mississippi rep for the BET College Tour. So it was the Blakk College Tour, then it just turned into the College Tour because they were going to colleges, I think, that wasn't just HBCUs too. So when we did Jackson State, Valley, Alcorn, I would travel to those things. So it was interesting because in college, we couldn't wait for the college tour to come because that's something you could enjoy while you were there. So I did the Singer Spotlight. So interesting that when I was living in DC, one of the guys there, Sam, still keep in contact with him. He worked at you can go into something just as big as the Coliseum of nothing but archives, masters of stuff from all of BET. Like, it is just freaking amazing. And Whitney Houston died while I was there. Bittersweet because yes, some of the stuff you saw on 106 in Park, I'm the one who had to put those packages together and stream it to 106. Of course, my name ain't on there because I'm in a learning stage, but I'm proud of that. I'm like, oh my God, I did that.
That's
you know what I mean?
up.
So, but we try to go and find when I won. He tried his best to find the footage from when I won at Jackson State my freshman year for doing Singer Spotlight. Like, I used to do all this type of things, and then, at some point, I will get back to my first love.
I'm glad you came to the show and shared this with people, man, because people would have never known. You just a mover.
Yeah, I really keep to myself more than people know. That's what.
Yeah, and the most important, I tell this to everybody. The reason I got my platform open right now, man, the most important thing about it, and y'all please share this with somebody. We have to tell our story because if we don't, somebody gonna tell it for us, and they're gonna add some stuff or they're gonna leave something out. And then it's all mixed up.
Control your own narrative.
There it is. That was, and I always shift the paradigm. Please do that. I got that from Brother Ben X. I'm gonna carry that on to whenever. But you're right. You have to control. Last but not least, what is your thoughts on this gender control in the industry? How do you feel about that? The way females are abused or taken advantage of in the industry. What's your thoughts on that?
So in what regards? Do you mean
all
like,
the way around?
Not necessarily sexually, but like you have to do something to actually make it.
There you go. Sexually is not
mean?
necessarily. I'm gonna put that at the last.
That's what I want to know. Okay, so which way we going with it?
Yeah, because I'm out here. I see it, and especially in Jackson. Okay.
Yeah.
I want your personal opinion on that.
So if I can give my personal opinion without sounding judgmental, because I'm not judging anybody. I'm like, you ain't got to do that, girl. Don't do it. I don't agree that if you choose to dress a certain way or do a certain thing that you should be treated a certain way, because everybody is a person that all deserve respect. I'm gonna always say that, right? And I'm not saying you're inviting anything, but a lot of times they're trying to do what works, because they always say you're not being sexually, putting that on the back like you said, but they still say sex sells or whatever. Well, I'm almost like that episode of the Cosby Show. You give a little bit of no, it might have been in Fresh Prince. Give a little bit and take it back, just a little bit. But not too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do not like that in this male-dominated industry or whatever the case may be, that females can't do what they do. Because, you're not going to have a male without a female. You feel me? That's just what it is. And I think it's a space for us all to win. And on top of that, right now, I love how much women are getting their moment. Let me say it both ways. Women, period, and Black women.
Yeah.
In the space that we're in right now, the love that they're in, this stuff should have been happened. And it's still not where it needs to be. Somebody's contract over here, they're getting paid $1 million episode. Somebody over here getting paid $5 million episode.
Right.
And this person may be more of a lead than that person, but she a female, he a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
right.
and I hate to see things like that. That doesn't discourage me from wanting to be in the industry, but it does discourage me when it comes to I need to make sure I got somebody that can work on a contract for me the right way, because I'm walking into what I see is the norm.
Right.
Taraji P, man, I respect her and the way she talks about what she's going through and how she almost pretty much wanted to step away from acting because it was doing too much to her. You know what I mean? And, Tyler Perry did some stuff that helped out when it came to women and Black people and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, I don't always like how women are treated when it comes to that. And I don't think you should say it's a woman's fault for something. I think they would deserve the respect to do the same thing. You got some hella creative. Shout out to Drika Siobhan right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mama's Boy. This girl is a hell of a talent. She a female. She a Black girl doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? And it can be done. So stop saying it can't be done.
Right.
And some of these things that y'all are out here, supporting or that you're watching, or you may see Asiatic Blakk as the face. Michelle Boyd might be the one that was behind the scenes that did that. And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just using it as an example.
Right.
I just think it's a space for you to say, I'm the kind of person where if, let's just say that was flipped. The question you asked was flipped.
Right.
I'm the kind of person that would be like, yeah, this Chelle B, let's bring her on up here. And I'm like, I appreciate that. I need to bring up my boy Blakk. Come on up here, because if anybody deserves something, it's him.
Right.
If they don't put you up there, then the person that's working with you should have enough respect to put you up there.
I've seen that. I've seen you do that. I have seen it's a couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the? I mean, you got to give me something on what's next. I want to give somebody on this show something to look forward to. Oh, besides, I'm gonna say this. Maybe she's gonna have a studio here.
Yeah, I thought this was what you were gonna talk about in a minute. I was like,
yeah, maybe she's gonna have a studio. How do you feel about that? And do you have anything that in mind?
Well, because first of all, when Asiatic hit me up about design and something, I said, how you know I like to design something? I don't even talk to you when it comes to something like design. He's like, I pay attention to you.
Hey, always.
I do love to decorate. I do love to do that. Because I know that this is something I want everybody to be able to be a part of. I'm not going to go with my complete color. My color is pink. Anybody knows me, it has nothing to do with AKA. I could have been a Delta and my favorite color is pink. Let's get that straight. Because some people, they mix the two. It has nothing to do with my sorority. I just had people that I looked up to that was an AKA, so that's why I ended up going in that route. But I love pink, and my favorite color is hot pink, but it's more than a hue for me. I always say I'm being pink. And I said that because that is a little bit of an exclusive. Being pink, make sure y'all follow that on Instagram. But it stands for being, how many times you hear me say the word passion, or I'm passionate about something, right? So it stands for being passionate is never compromising. I'm not the typical compromiser with a C. I'm going to put a K on everything. It ain't got nothing to do with AKA. So it's more than a hue for me. It's more than a color. Being passionate, that's why I'm saying whatever your journey is, it is yours. Own that thing. Whatever your passion is, stick with it. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Knock the roof off that thing. Who's stopping you? And I don't say that the sky is the limit. The sky is limitless. You feel me? So that's what it stands for, being pink. And being passionate is never compromised. But in that, when it comes to the It Shall Be Done room, because he said, I'm thinking about, should we do a Chelle B room? And I'm like, when you in there, I want you to be able to do some things. There's some things I want to happen in that room that me and you hadn't had a chance to meet about.
Okay.
And I'm passionate about it.
Okay.
And I want you to be able to do that. So when you finish and you are out of it, you feel like you've been productive. So if you've been productive, it means you got it done, right? So let's not call it Chelle B. Let's call it It Shall Be Done. Right. Because when you come out of there, you've succeeded in that, right?
Yeah,
so that's what I want people to feel, for one.
Okay.
But because I know so many different people are going to be in that room, because we're going to claim that people are going to be able to be creative and do what they want to do in that space. I'm not going to just make it pink. If it was just my studio, baby, she gonna be tickle pink, because that's the name of my LLC, TPC&E, Tickle Pink Communications and Entertainment, all day. I'm a pink person.
I just got another one. Put a bullet in it.
So that's what. So I'm not gonna have it all pink, but there will be a streak of pink there, because you got to know that Chelle B is a part of this. Gotcha. You know what I mean? So yeah. And then, you want to know what's coming next. I mean, my residence may change. Who knows? I'm all for some things.
Hey, do what you got to do.
I'm going to rep Jackson, Mississippi all day, baby, because that's where I come from.
Ain't no doubt. Just check in with me every now and then.
Oh, for sure.
And when you get that first billion, all I want is $1 to put in a frame and put it on the wall.
Oh, baby, you're going to get way more than $1. Well more deserving than $1.
$1.
When y'all see, there's an interview that's going to drop. I've been looking up this person's birthday. Her birthday is actually in December. So y'all make sure y'all follow my social media page and wonder how I did that interview on the clutch. When I say I'm a one-woman band, Blakk was there. I was like, would you please record this interview for me? So he recorded the interview, and I'm definitely going to give him credit. I always give credit at the end of all my captions. And you'll see I put credits for everything. More than just copyright stuff. I just like to give credit what credit is due. But you're going to see, and he shot that, and he said to me, Chelle, where you get these lights from? I'm like, I got mentors, man. I can't have mentors and don't listen to them. I told you that then. I don't know how to do these things. I'm the person that know how to do it, but don't always know how to get it done. I want to do all the stuff your son is over there doing.
Yeah,
I want to know how to do all of that effortlessly.
Yeah,
you feel me?
You're a teacher?
I love it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for stopping through.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me.
Ain't no doubt. I had to get you up here, man. And like I said, I'm creeping by your page all the time. Okay. All right. I see it. Then I look up the numbers. Oh, they bullshitting. They're bullshitting. Yeah, for real. All right. We're going to be, what? Oh, okay then. All right then. One more time for his butter, baby. Look at my man checking me out.
See, he on it. And let me see.
Ain't no doubt.
One of my mentors also name is Korea. Korea Burns. Korea Burns.
Yeah,
and,
that's the small size, and of course they get. Well, she got bigger sizes. We're actually working on. She's working on a new commercial right now, and
Jackie.
Yeah, and she's a one-man band. She also sings. She does. This
is what I say. We have to say king of all trades and queen of all trades instead of just saying, something of all
Jack
trades.
of all trades. Yeah.
Jack and Jackie. Now we king and we queens. Right. I've learned from that, so let me pass that on.
No doubt.
I'm saying this real quickly because my mentor, Korea Burns, who's been in Radio 1 and all this stuff forever, she's amazing. She stays going to Ghana. Jackie and her might need to have a conversation. When I tell you that you guys should check out welcometomotherland.com, Jackie, I need to connect you with Korea and thank me later. When I saw Ghanaian, I was like, oh, Korea, eat that up.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's help each other out. Let me catapult that a little bit further.
All right, and don't y'all forget about the truck show that's coming up this Easter weekend, 2026. I have to keep mentioning that. It's going to be some commercials and stuff running pretty soon, but shout out to DJ Tony T down on the coast. Shout out to everybody that has something to do with that. I don't want to give too much away right now. And then also shout out to Kenneth Champ Jackson, that's on the grounds right now with YFN Lucci's manager.
Nice.
We got some things that's coming up, and shout out to YFN Lucci as well for his release, man, and everything that he has coming up. All right? So, 2 Black, 2 Strong, Mega Blast Media Company, Chelle B, Asiatic Black. We out.
Just like that.
Try its Butter Baby today and see what makes us so different. You can smell like this, or this. Made from all natural botanicals, herbs, extracts, and oils, try all 30 aromatics. Mix them and match them. Give them to loved ones. Your skin has never felt this good. Our aromatics are infused with 100% Ghanaian shea butter and ported bi-monthly. Packed rich in vitamins and minerals to ensure its vitality, of course. Oh, and we let it whip and whip and whip, and we whip it right. Helps fight psoriasis and eczema, severe inflammation, acne and diaper rash, razor bumps, stretch marks and discoloration, dry, cracked feet, and more. Even the bees love it. That's because it's earthen. It's Butter Baby. All natural earthen skincare. Try its Butter Baby today and make your skin happy.